One second. Right, everyone. Good morning, people in the class.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Morning.
morning,
morning,
sir.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Very good morning. Morning. How is everyone?
Good.
Good.
Good. People, क्या हाल चाल है सभी के?
बढ़िया.
बढ़िया. कुछ चल रहा है क्या? कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग लाइफ में? सेकंड. गिव मी अ सेकंड. हाँ जी. सो किसी की लाइफ में कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग चल रहा है? When is Dhanteras, by the way, everyone? When is officially the Diwali? 31st or 1st?
31st.
31st, which is 1 second. We are in 31st, Thursday. Okay, which means Dhanteras is on 29th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you people celebrate Dhanteras?
Yes, sir.
Case. Matlab, are you getting off as well on that day? कि नहीं? आपको कॉलेज ऑफिस सबसे ऑफ मिलता है ऑन धनतेरस?
No, sir.
Nope. Charan, are you here? Charan?
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing you for the first time. Is it?
Yeah, yesterday I had joined, but again, yesterday they had some issue with the link, so I joined late. I mean, like around 9:15 only they gave me the link. So yesterday was my first class, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then. Rajat, were you not there yesterday? Rajat,
I was there, Rajesh.
you were there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, have you been there in all the lectures? Or I mean,
No, actually, this is my third class.
which is why. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, your name was not very familiar to me from the list, so that I know.
Yeah.
Great. Then, Pradeep, were you there yesterday? And then also in the last few lectures, Pradeep,
Yes, I was there.
you were there.
Yeah, sir. Last week I was absent due to some I had some other stuff. So yesterday I was there.
Okay. Great. So we had a new girl yesterday. I'm not able to recollect her name, but she was supposed to join today because today we start with the new chapter. New subject, I mean to say, which is the subject of equity. Great. Equity. Let me share my screen and then we start talking. All right. Give me a sec. Is my screen visible? Everyone?
Yes, sir. And sir, if you're starting with equity only from the start, can I ask you a doubt before that?
Okay, do it.
Sir, on page 112, there's an illustration on Reliance Chemicals lease. I wasn't able to understand how did they get the net present value as 322.82.
Page number 112.
Yes, sir.
1 second. What's your question? How did they get this answer of?
Net present value of 322.8.
Okay. So actually it relates to the concept of time value of money. Okay. Which is to be taught to you in the subject of quants. However, in the meantime, we can try doing so. Okay. Let me. Do you have 1 second? Let me first check if this calculator works or not. Do you have this kind of a calculator with you, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many of you? Everyone quick, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
ऐप है सर इसका.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Those who don't have it, you will have to buy it soon. Okay. So through this calculator, you can directly calculate the present value, future value, which means all the important time value money functions can be done with these two lines primarily. This one and this one. Okay, right? So the detailed quants you will learn later on. But simple funda, if I have to explain to you on the timeline, is that suppose this is where I stand at 0 point. Suppose my time period is 4 years. And suppose at the end of every year, I will receive some cash flow. Say 20 rupee of cash flow at the end of every year. Say 120 rupee of cash flow at the end of every year. Along with that, I have 1000 rupees to be received at 0 point. Okay. So you make an investment today. You make an investment today in a bond, for example. That bond will give you 120 every year. And also 1000 rupee will be received at the end of 4th year. Right? If you want to calculate the present value of all these amounts, the 4 120s and 1000, right? If you have to calculate the present value, suppose rate of interest is 12%, right? So using this particular line out here, you can calculate the present value. And you don't, I mean, the discussion, 1 second, you've been the part of this thing, right? I've taught this to everyone, right? Calculating present value, future value in the pre-read, everyone.
I wasn't there in the first lecture.
Which is why I'm supposed to, first of all, 1 second. People, can anyone help me recollect that हम लोगों ने discussion किया है, right? In the pre-read entirely, present value,
Yes, sir.
future value.
Yes,
This
sir,
was
पूरा.
who now asking this question?
Sion.
Sion, इसका मतलब आपको पुराना recordings देखना पड़ेगा. I was wondering कि यार ये सब तो मैं पहले समझा चुका हूँ. ठीक है?
ठीक है सर.
मतलब वो extremely easy है, extreme. I thought कि you are not done with quants, but then I realized that in the pre-read I have already covered this topic for you. Okay?
And sir, also एक और question था, which calculator would you recommend, the professional वाला या normal वाला BA2 instrument Texas का?
ये जो दिख रहा है ये मुझे ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल लगा था. This one I think is BA2 Professional Plus, ऐसा कुछ नाम है.
Professionally, because like there's a difference. There's like two more commands that you could do in professional, right?
So I think this one is preferable, better. Anyone having exactly this kind of a thing? People? इसका नाम प्रोफेशनल है, राइट? प्रोफेशनल प्लस समथिंग, प्रोफेशनल टू समथिंग. आप लोग कौन सा वाला यूज कर रहे हो? एक होता है जिसका शेप थोड़ा सा ऐसा कर्वी होता है.
So BA2 plus.
I am using professional one, sir.
वो प्रोफेशनल वाला इज स्क्वायर शेप्ड, राइट?
Like square shape.
Which is similar to this one. ठीक है, तो आप जो यूज करना चाहो कर सकते हो. आई थिंक दिस वन इज प्रेफरेबल.
Okay.
प्रोफेशनल. I have never seen that another calci. वो HP का calci is also allowed, right, in the exam, along with Texas.
Yes, sir.
Have you people ever seen it? कोई
No,
use कर
sir.
रहा है क्या? I never saw it. Anyways, so people in the class, subject of equity. When you hear the word equity, what can you recollect? What comes to your mind when you hear this word equity? Everyone. Is it the red color of your portfolio that comes to your mind? People in the class, come on.
Shares and securities.
Shares and securities.
Ownership, sir.
Ownership.
Basic equity and preference equity.
Okay. You mean to say common equity and preferred equity, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Sir,
When you hear the word equity, anything that comes to your mind related to equity, you can speak up so that we can find out that, okay, in what direction can our thoughts be? People, please.
Risk.
Risk comes to your mind. Fine. Divya, Dhriti, are you here?
Yes,
Dhriti,
Yes, sir.
do you know we were calling your name multiple times yesterday?
No.
So is it that you joined in the lecture and then you left somewhere?
Actually, my Wi-Fi was not, it was like not working properly. That's why.
So it happened yesterday that since I was starting with a new chapter, so I thought let me inform it to you that you'd be able to connect now entirely to the chapter.
Okay.
So we called your name, but you're not there. Just letting you know. Sachin, are you here? Sachin.
Yeah, sir.
Sachin, by chance investment वगैरह करते हो?
हाँ सर चालू था सर मेरा
चालू
अभी
है.
नहीं किया
Okay.
क्या मेरा एक्चुअली फर्म ही था सर मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट का सर
Sorry.
एक्चुअली स्टॉक मार्केट का मतलब क्लास चालू किए थे सर हमने
Okay. I
तो
mean, you
टेक्निकल
take the class or you give the class?
हाँ सर
I mean, are you a teacher?
हाँ वो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस करता था सर, मतलब वो
Okay.
technical वगैरह
Then तो आपकी blood में है ये.
नहीं लेकिन वो फंडामेंटल थोड़ा बहुत वीक था ना सर तो इसलिए मतलब सीएफए लगाना पड़ेगा
Makes sense.
Yes, sir.
सर
Great. Yes.
सर मैं जब भी शेयर लेता हूँ ना सर रेड में ही बंद रहता है रेड ही हो जाता है समझ नहीं आता है सर
This is the story of every person actually.
और सर मैं जब भी शेयर खरीदता हूँ तो वो गिरने लगता है जैसे ही बेचता हूँ वो बढ़ने लग जाता है ये भी देख रहे हैं मैं
ये तो आप जो बोल रहे हैं meme है. What they're saying is actually a kind of meme.
नहीं सर रियलिटी मैंने एक शेयर लिया था मोटर्स का वो जब तक रखा था मैंने 2-3 दिन होल्ड करके रखता हूँ मे बी बढ़ेगा और नीचे ही जाते चले गया जैसे ही बेचा आज देखते हैं तो उसका प्राइस कहाँ से कहाँ चला गया
आपका patience is 2-3 days, right? I've been to the situation where
या
when I was working in 2018, mostly, when I was working with ICICI Securities. So I purchased this share of persistent system. तब that was उस time पे उसका price कुछ IT. You know persistent system, everyone in the class is an IT company.
Yes, sir.
Yes, तो उस time उसका share कुछ 500 something का था. And फिर क्या हुआ कि that was really a good company because I was a part of the research and IT sector. So persistent system was the part of my coverage क्योंकि उसमें TCS, Infosys सारी companies थी, so persistent was also doing well. ठीक है. So I think the market was not really well. It was the time when COVID was not COVID. GST was introduced, LTCG on long-term capital gain taxation was introduced by the budget. So कुछ चीजें हो रही थी because of which the market was stagnant for a year or so. So I had waited for a total period of 2 years, right? Held that stock, which is also not too much, right? But I remember then, since I decided to come back to my hometown, I had to start teaching. So I had to spend some money to purchase, decent enough computer systems, iPads. So I had to buy some equipments for the studio to get ready. I mean, this is not the studio from where I'm taking the lecture. I have a separate studio where I do record the lectures. So that is the point I realized that I ended up selling portfolio for rupees, some 1.5 to 2 lakhs to buy certain stuff. And you won't believe, just within a month, so I was holding two stocks, one of matrimony.com, second was Persistent. Persistent, after I sold it within a year, not more than a year, it was easily double. And now I think Persistent system would be trading at, give me a second, not more than, but I remember that stock had become at least 4 to 5 times. Give me a second. Let me log into Zerodha. Can you people see my screen? No, no. Can you see me logging into Zerodha?
No, sir.
No.
Cool. Let us add Persistent. अभी तो मुझे याद भी नहीं हो कितना हो गया. Oh my god. So now it is 10 times. Oh, sorry, I've stopped the share. The point I'm not trying to tell you ki, I mean, everyone in the market shows you the historical data that ये share ऐसा था और ऐसा हो गया, ऐसा था, ऐसा हो गया. After the share price increasing, everyone comments, and that is not what I'm trying to tell you, people. What I want to tell you is that, why is my screen not visible?
दिखा सर, दिखा.
Last वाला देख रहे हो क्या? सबसे
नहीं,
end Persistent, people. So I surely remember buying it for some 550, around 565 around, and selling it for more or less, I think, at a loss of 20%. In fact, why I feel bad about is that is when I specifically learned a thing that when you need money in short term, one should never invest in equity despite company is a great company, which means you cannot time the market. For example, I am sure that Persistent is a good company, which is why I ended up investing in the company. The scenario was that I had to wait for a period of 2 to 3 years. But time didn't allow me. My plan changed. I had to come back my hometown. I ended up selling those shares and everything. But that is when I specifically realized, and it will happen to you as well, that whenever you have to invest in short term, that you will learn in portfolio management in level 2 or 3 maybe, or yeah, somewhere you will learn surely that whenever you have to invest for a period of short term, never choose equity. For example, those who've started to work, for example, you're planning to buy a car in a year's time. So obviously you will have your salaries every year. So you feel like, right, that for a year, why should I waste my money in FD? I should invest in an SIP or something. Do you people, working people, do you come across such situation? Please, everyone.
Yes, sir.
जो लोग वर्किंग है उनको ऐसा लगता है ना, because they feel that car is to be bought after a year, houses to be bought after 2 years. What do I do to this money for a period of 2 years? Right? But it might happen that today you invest at a higher price and after 2 years, you invest with the mindset to buy, for example, MG Hector, and after 2 years you end up buying Baleno. Rather than पैसा बढ़ने की जगह आपका पैसा कम हो जाएगा. So short term, whenever is the time period, never invest in equity. Are you understanding? So स्टोरी स्टार्टेड जब कि आपने बोला था कि सर मेरा 2 दिन में ही शेयर का प्राइस गिरता है एंड ऑल दैट. आई आप समझ रहे हो, कंप्लीट रिसर्च्ड थिंग. The stock was really good. It has become 10 times, but time frame is extremely important. We cannot time the market. It will grow, but when will it grow, that you cannot judge. I don't know, people in the class, did it make sense to you?
Yes.
Yes, it did, sir.
Yes, sir.
आप टाइम नहीं, आप अच्छा स्टॉक भी ढूंढ लो ना, आप ये नहीं बता सकते हो कि 1 साल में बढ़ेगा ही. बढ़ेगा as per fundamental, I'm saying. You think company is a good one, but when would it reach to your target? That is very difficult to comment.
Sir, we lose money in the short term and we make money in the long term. Well generates over a long period of time.
Correct.
Yes,
But
sir.
I thought even 1 year is decent enough. But जैसे ही
If the
वही
market conditions are good, 1 month
हाँ
is
वही
also
exactly.
good.
Although equity में 1 year is obviously not at all long term, it is short term only. But given India as a market, Indian market has really been bullish for very long now. है ना? तो आपको क्या लगता है यार 1 साल का टाइम पीरियड में तो बुल रन आ ही जाएगा. But that doesn't work this way. Anyone remember ओला का इशू प्राइस क्या था? प्राइस बैंड क्या था ओला का? By chance?
75.
79. And was it significantly subscribed? I think it was subscribed in good times, right? 20-30 times easily. आप में से कोई आईपीओ में इन्वेस्ट करता है बाय चांस? पीपल?
Yes, sir. किए थे कई बार.
सर कभी
लगता ही
लगा
नहीं
नहीं
है.
सर.
लगा ही नहीं.
और लगता भी तो कैसा लग जाता है Hyundai LIC जैसा.
हुंडा है.
So I
I
got
have
allotment
received 2 allotments of Wari renewables.
ACCA and Tazan Limited and all.
Okay.
The money was doubled just within some one week. So
That is great. Swiggy is also planning to come up with an IPO, right?
Yes.
सर जो आपने शॉर्ट टर्म का बोला, इज इट अप्लाइड टू म्यूचुअल फंड्स आल्सो?
हाँ, क्योंकि म्यूचुअल फंड भी इक्विटी है.
ओके,
मतलब यार
यूनिट आल्सो अगर शॉर्ट टर्म में.
हाँ, क्योंकि वो भी या तो आप डेट म्यूचुअल फंड में डालो.
यस सर.
मतलब
फॉर
मुझे
लॉन्गर टर्म अगर कितना देखे सर?
आई थिंक इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में 2-2 साल का डाउन पीरियड या फिर स्टेबल पीरियड तो मैंने ही देखा है. तो व्हेनेवर टाइम फ्रेम इज 3 years और मोर, अगर आपको अपना घर बनाना है 3 साल बाद and उसके लिए अच्छा पैसा इकट्ठा कर रहे हो, सो आई थिंक यू कैन कंसिडर टू इन्वेस्ट इन इक्विटी. अगर आपको 1 साल बाद अपना घर खरीदना है और उसके लिए यू थिंक कि चलो मैं 1 साल तक अपनी सैलरी इन्वेस्ट कर देता हूँ, देन इज नॉट सजेस्टेड.
ओके सर.
और वैसे भी एज यू कम टू level 2 and 3 you will realize it. I had
Yes, sir.
learned it. I learned it in level 3 so far as I remember, or maybe 2, but I missed to apply it.
Yes, sir.
So Sanjeev, Tata Motors is actually a turnaround story. मतलब I remember a time जहाँ पे Tata Motors की cars ही नहीं दिखती थी roads पे. I can talk about my city now. You have amples, मतलब I mean in my city Indore, I have amples of car running on the roads for Tata. Tiago, Altroz, Nexon, Punch and everything. Is it happening in your cities, people? Tata Motors cars. आप लोगों की सिटीज में भी, क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, इट इज अ जियोग्राफिकल, समटाइम्स द कंपनी dominate geography wise. In some geography it's Tata that works, in some geography it's Hyundai, for example.
I think they're improving their innovations in terms of the interior, etc. So slowly the market is increasing, especially on their new car release for Nexon with different colors and their other car that got recently released.
Plus safety. I
Yeah,
mean, the cars are really
better safety than Kia and today. I mean, I drive a Kia, but Tata does have that.
Sir,
Great.
Sir, is this
Sir, what-
subject a theory one or a practical one?
Subject, I think 70% theory, I think.
Sir, one of our college professors had told that he had invested in Tata Motors in 2020 when the share price was 70 rupees. So he wanted to buy a car, so he had a budget of around 35 lakhs. So due to COVID, he couldn't buy the car. So he invested that 35 lakhs in Tata Motors share. And today the
I can
value
buy
is
an
around
Audi.
5 crores and up.
I can buy an Audi. Yeah, that's
पैसा ही
true.
पैसा. अक्षय कुमार सर, पैसा ही पैसा.
Post-COVID, if you see, most of stocks have performed more than 5 times
Correct.
across all segments.
Correct. So Indian
Any
stocks.
stocks, any stocks.
Correct. In fact, the market itself, the market has done really well. And now the interest rates are yet to fall. I mean, as you
The 2 days
go to
back.
fixed income and as we go to equity further, you will realize that interest rate has an impact on the equity market. For example, RBI decides the repo rate every year, right? Did we discuss this thing in the pre-read? The interest rate, repo rate by RBI? People
No,
in the
sir.
class?
No,
Kuch
sir.
yaad hai sir? Do you people
No,
know
sir.
RBI decides repo rate every quarter something? Whenever they have this meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Repo rate, reverse
Money. So
repo.
in your economics, you must have learned something called as monetary, what do you call it? Monetary operations, something like this.
Monetary funds.
Monetary policies, fiscal policy kind of things.
CRR, SLR.
Yes, sir.
Not see that RBI decides. That is specifically for bank. Repo rate is in general market rate of interest which RBI decides. Okay, and the
Quantitative
objective
method.
Yes, sir.
the objective is to control inflation.
Yes.
So somewhere in 2020, so when we stand in 2020 and look at the past, right, the repo rate was, gradually decreasing. It was stable at 4% for very long. Then in 22, I think 21 something, there was a war between Russia and Ukraine, somewhere in the month of March 21, because of which the global supply chain got disrupted, petroleum products, other products, right? So the entire globe faced this heat, because of which the inflation in the economies has started to happen, right? Like India, US, UK. And India was still, in a control. The Indian inflation was still in control. So government gradually decided to hike the rate from 4% to 4.25 to 4.5. And now it is 6.5, everyone in the class. And that economics has huge impact on your personal life. As you start to earn, as you start to buy your own car, if you take loan, if you have your own home, if you take loan, then you realize that these economic decisions by RBI, inflation, etc., has huge impact on your personal life. For example, someone said I was planning to buy a car before COVID. I remember I was planning to buy this car, Baleno. The top model of that car was around 9 lakhs. Okay. And I didn't buy it. And after 2 years, when I inquired, the prices were up by around 30%, I remember. Easily 30%. So can you imagine, I mean, 9 lakhs plus 30% is 2.7 lakhs easily. So that has a 2.7 lakhs amount you might feel small, but relative to 9 lakhs is a 30% increase just in a period of 2 years on account of inflation. That is first effect to your pocket. Second effect is that now you take a higher amount of loan, that too at a higher rate of interest, because due to inflation, RBI has increased the repo. Where the loans were earlier available, for example, for 8% are now available at 10% easily. Are you understanding that when you enter into the commercial world, commerce world, that is when these things have an impact on your pocket? आप कनेक्ट कर पाए क्या मैंने क्या बोला? People?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
और आपको लग रहा है 2% इज नॉट अ बिग डील? आप मुंबई में रहते हो, राइट? मुंबई में फ्लैट्स किस प्राइस रेंज में मिलते हैं? इजीली 50 lakhs, 1 CR, 2 CR टाइप्स, है ना?
1.5 करोड़.
है ना? 1.5 CR. समझो आपने 0.5 CR is your own fund. Let's say 0.5 or 0.8, say 1 CR is on your phone. You will take 50 lakh rupee of loan, people?
Yes. Yes, sir.
50 lakhs is the amount of loan you take. Suppose the rate of interest was earlier 8. How much is the amount of interest? 50 lakhs into 8% is 4 lakh rupees of interest. Cool. Suppose after you take the loan, RBI increases the repo rate from 4 to 6.5, which means 2.5% increase. Right now, you're paying an interest of 4 lakh rupees because the bank is charging it to you. If the bank start to charge 10.5 to you, which means additional 2.5. How much is 2.5% of 50 lakhs? 50 lakhs, 1 lakh 25,000 something. Do you people agree that additional hit, 4 lakhs you have to pay anyways, additional hit of 1.25 lakhs per annum is a big hit on your income due to interest rate increase. आप समझ रहे हो 1.25 lakhs अगर आपके साल के इनकम का as it is गायब हो जाए ड्यू टू फैक्टर्स विच आर नॉट इन योर कंट्रोल, वो इकोनॉमिक, रशिया यूक्रेन की लड़ाई, मतलब इन द वॉर स्टार्टेड आई डिडंट इवन बॉदर कि उस पर मेरी लाइफ में क्या इंपैक्ट होगा। आप सोच सकते हो क्या कि अपनी लाइफ में 1.25 lakhs का इंपैक्ट आ जाएगा?
नो सर।
रशिया यूक्रेन का वॉर है, अपनी लाइफ में 1.25 lakhs पर एनम का इंपैक्ट which can be a significant portion of your income. If you are earning 20 lakhs or more, is still acceptable कि यार वो 5% है. If you are earning 10 lakhs, that is 10% of your income which got flushed away. I don't know if you can feel that thing or not. Am I making sense? अगर आपका 10 लाख का पैकेज है ना, तो 1.25 lakhs जाता है तो 10% as it is flush हो गया उसमें से, बिकॉज ऑफ द थिंग्स जिसके बारे में आपने केयर भी नहीं किया था। या तो आप घूमने जाते, यू गो फॉर अ वेकेशन, इज स्टिल फाइन दैट यू एंजॉयड दैट मनी। वॉर से तो आपको कुछ लेना देना भी नहीं था। So as a CFA, when you start to understand things, when you start to read newspaper, you are able to apply things and plan things for you. You can plan to a significant extent your personal investment, your personal life insurance, expenditures, everything. All right, people in the class.
Yes, sir.
ये सब कुछ बोर कर रहा है क्या आपको?
नो सर।
ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे, given that silence in the class.
In fact, it's interesting.
Great. So shall we please come back to the main topic?
Yes.
Yep. So we can start it from the perspective of company actually. Any company, let's imagine the balance sheet of a company. Any company who's in need of money, people will raise equity from the investors, which means company will issue the equity shares, and against which it will get the money, and this capital is then invested in different kinds of assets which company wants to build. This shareholder, this investor out here is called a shareholder who got the share of the company. What does that share represents, people?
Ownership.
Ownership in that company, which means ultimately all these assets on the entire profit, right, on the entire cash flow, this person will have a proportionate ownership. Why do I say proportionate ownership? Because if there are 5 shares in the company, then whatever the assets of the company, cash flows, profits of the company are, this person will have 20% of it. Are you understanding, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So an equity represents the ownership. And in which case, do you realize that when you represent ownership, your position become extremely risky? Because if the profit rises, the value of your share rises because you're expected to get more. If the profit falls, the value of share falls because you're expected to get less. And the share which this person is holding, right? Suppose, so do you people know shares are irredeemable? Which means when they are issued, they are not issued with a particular deadline for 2 years, 5 years. They are perpetual in nature, which means so long as the company will exist, the share will also exist. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. In which case, are you bound to be the owner of the company for the entire life? I mean, the life of company can be far more bigger than your personal life, your own life. We have companies older than 200 years. So are you bound to own the company for your entire life or for company's entire life? No. If you don't want to hold the share, you can sell it in the market. Yes, but how do I sell it is the question. This equity share, people, company raised money from me, right? I'm the owner of the company. I'm the shareholder of the company. How do I sell it? So it depends if the company is a public company. In other words, if it is a listed company, or if it is a private company. If it is a listed company, the share buying and selling can happen very easily. For example, Hyundai came up with an IPO. Suppose you got an allotment of the shares of Hyundai. Now what do? Do you agree after getting the allotment, your share got automatically listed on the stock exchange? If you don't want to hold the share, you can go to the stock exchange, sell it off. Requesting your responses, people.
Yes.
Yes,
If
sir.
it is listed, selling is easy. However, if that is unlisted, you have to approach the brokers, private equity houses, or whatever, right? You have to approach people so that you have to individually identify who can buy the shares from me. That is how buying and selling can happen. And in this entire story, we have to learn the share as an investment. I mean, you don't have to learn the equity from the perspective of company. You have to learn it from the perspective of investor, or you have to learn it from the perspective of market. Am I clear to all the students in the class, please?
Yes.
Can you tell me, as the equity shareholder, what do I get from the company?
Dividend.
Dividend. That is the source of my earning. Is that the only source of earning, or we have something else as well?
Price
Total
appreciation.
appreciation.
Bonus, I guess.
Yes, bonus split and increase and of share price.
Radha, आप इससे बात कर रहे हो? Are you talking to us?
Yes, sir.
Were you talking to us?
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा सा louder. You couldn't.
Yes, sir. Bonus
So you
split.
get,
Yeah.
when you are the equity shareholder, you get first form of earnings directly from the company in cash, which is dividend. Then when you hold the share is trading in the market. If the price rises, you gain. If the price falls, you lose. That is second thing, right? Primarily, these are the two sources of company for me as an investor. That is about common equity I'm talking. You also have something called as preferred equity, which means company, rather than along with issuing the common equity, can also issue preferred equity to its investor. Which means this time this particular investor will invest in preferred equity. Whatever amount company gets, company can buy the assets. Can preferred equity can also be bought and sold in the market, people in the class?
No, sir.
Listed नहीं है, publicly listed नहीं होते हैं, but privately, people in the class, you can buy and sell even preferred equity. Are they also the owners, everyone?
Yes.
Preferred equity, are they the
No,
owners?
Sir.
no, sir. No, sir.
They have the first right.
Everyone in the
Sir,
class.
They have the first right in comparison to common equity.
So they are the owners, first of all. The only difference is that they have a preference in everything before common equity, which means if the profit is to be distributed, first will be distributed to them. Suppose the company become insolvent. When the assets of the companies are sold, when the amount is realized amount is distributed to the investors. Preferred will be distributed first and then common. Are you understanding the point of difference between preferred equity and common equity?
Yes, sir. Sir, preferred
Yes, sir.
equity वाले को तो interest मिलता है ना?
उनको dividend मिलता है which is fixed. For example, their dividend is fixed at 12%. Irrespective of whatever company owns, they will be paid fixed at the rate 12%. Balance amount will all belong to the equity.
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding?
Yes.
Common equity, I mean to say. So great. Let me tell you. This particular topic, equity valuation, is a bit practical. Okay. Otherwise, most of the chapters are theoretical because at level 1, they are expecting you to first understand equity security, equity market, everything. Then they try to teach you the valuation of equity. So shall we start? with the first chapter, people, which is market organization and structure? Everyone. Yes. Just give me a sec. Let me have water. Cool. So first they try to teach you, right, in general about financial system. People, they are not talk about only equity market, the entire financial system, which means in your economy, whatever setup related to finance, like setup related to the central bank, RBI, different commercial banks, setup related to mutual funds, stock exchange, SEBI, insurance companies, the entire setup, whatever you can imagine related to finance in the economy, right? All that is the part of financial system. So what is the function of financial system? An obvious function is they provide market for entities to save, borrow, raise capital, manage risk, trade assets. You tell me one simple thing. Do you realize savings, whenever you earn money, do you agree it is the banks where you can invest your money? Save in the sense you can invest your money because you have banks to make FD, you have mutual funds to invest your amount, you have stock market to invest your amount. Everyone in the class, please. People.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then they talk about borrow. It is because you have again the banks, the setup by SEBI, that companies and people like you and me can easily borrow. You can borrow from the bank. The companies can borrow by issuing the debentures. That is because we have the capital market setup ready, regulated by, we have the capital market ready, which is set up by SEBI. Okay, so the borrowing, which is raising capital, which means raising equity capital, right? Managing risk, you have derivatives instruments like futures options, where you can easily manage risk. And it is market we have available where we can trade assets. If you own the shares of the company, it is the stock exchange where you can easily trade the assets. So financial system primarily, does these things. Is it making sense, everyone?
Yes, sir.
It determines the equilibrium return. Do you agree whenever the buyers and supply, whenever the demand and supply meets, automatically the equilibrium reaches? In any situation, imagine that there are, hundreds of people who want to borrow, and there are hundreds of people who want to lend. Those who want to borrow create the demand for money. Those who want to lend create the supply of money. Do you agree that as the interaction of these borrowers and lender will happen, automatically a market rate of interest will evolve? For example, this person wants to borrow at the rate of 2%. This person wants to, lend at the rate of 20%. Will they be able to borrow or lend to each other?
No.
No. Now, like although all the borrowers will compete among themselves. If I'm ready to borrow at 2%, you might be ready to borrow at 3. Someone might be ready to borrow at 6, and someone might be ready to borrow at 8. Right? Similarly, those who want to lend money, they will also compete among themselves. Someone who wants to lend at 20, right? There's someone who want to lend at 20. Now there might come someone who's ready to lend even at 19%. Do you agree this is how they will compete? Then someone will be ready to lend at 12. Then someone may be at 9% and then 8%. So do you agree that when borrowers compete among themselves and when lenders compete among themselves, they come to an equilibrium rate which becomes the rate of interest in the market at which the transaction can happen? People in the class, could I explain it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
This happens for anything, right? This happens for property. You have a small apartment, you want to sell it for 5 crores. No one will buy it, but there are 50 such apartments in the same building. You will automatically get an equilibrium price, a general market rate of interest rate for that market price for that property, correct? Because all the sellers will compete among themselves, all the buyers will compete among themselves. The best price will automatically get determined. And that is what they say about equilibrium prices and returns. Okay, everyone? Efficient capital allocation. In the economy, if you have these entire setup ready, the capital can get an efficient allocation. For example, you have savings. You know that Ola, for example, is going to give you significant return. You want to invest in EV sector. Or you think that Tata Motors is going to do really well in EV. You want to invest in EV sector. But you know what is the problem? Problem is that if there is no setup, your money cannot reach to Ola. Your money cannot reach to Tata Motors. But now when there is a setup, your capital can get allocated to that particular sector through mutual funds or through directly buying those shares. Are you understanding? Everyone, please. People.
Yeah, yes.
Yep. So let's go through each of the points above in detail, especially this one, right? Sir, as a financial system, what are the purpose one should achieve? It should provide liquidity, it should have low transaction cost, availability of information and regulations. Simple. Do you know what liquidity is, people?
So convertibility into cash.
1 second, let me show that to you. I can see it right now. But when the markets are live now, if you look at the market depth, do you see the blue column and the red column, people?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Blue column represents those who are willing to buy the shares. Red column represents those who are willing to sell the share at different prices. If there are so many buyers and sellers, the market is really liquid because a buyer would be able to easily find a seller and a seller would be able to easily find a buyer. That is what liquidity is. Ability to sell your share very easily, very quickly at its fair price, around its fair price. That is liquidity. However, imagine you own the shares of Zomato. Swiggy. Is that listed on the stock exchange, people?
No, sir.
No. You will need to find out such a big investor who's ready to buy that share from you. That is a privately traded share. correct? That is why we call that share to be liquid. I mean that market to be liquid. So liquidity has to be there through market. Transaction cost should be as low as possible. Because if the transaction cost will be very high, would people trade frequently, buy and sell frequently? No, it will impact the liquidity if you realize. Am I making sense, please, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone in the
Yes, sir.
class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
आप एक सेकेंड नहीं, आप रियल एस्टेट खरीदे हो कभी? देखा है रियल एस्टेट खरीदते हुए किसी को?
Yes, sir.
आपको पता है रियल एस्टेट में रजिस्ट्री होती है?
Yes, sir.
आप आज खरीदते हो, 2% प्राइस बढ़ गया, 5% प्राइस बढ़ गया, कल बेच सकते हो क्या?
No, sir.
No, sir.
क्योंकि उतना अमाउंट आपने रजिस्ट्री में इनकर कर दिया. To get thing registered at your name, then you sell it, you end up incurring some cost. The transaction cost is high, the market is illiquid for real estate. Everyone. There are other reasons as well for it to become illiquid, but real estate is illiquid, and one of the reasons is the high transaction cost. समझे आप मेरी बात, please, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
शेयर 5% बढ़ता है तो आप बेच सकते हो. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. Then is availability of information. आपको पता है information, the easily information floats, the market become efficient. आप एक बात बताओ. There is some, so suppose there is this particular product. Suppose that this particular company who got a deal from foreign company. समझो एक IT कंपनी है, उसको किसी foreign बैंक से डील मिला to manufacture or to implement the IT systems in their bank. Is a good news for the company, people?
Yes, sir.
You imagine I get to know that information, you don't get to know this information. What will happen? I will gain advantage out of it. I will buy the share from you at a normal price and you would be ready to sell because you don't know that information. And after the share price increases, I'll sell it. Do you agree that the advantage or the gain I've made is not out of my analysis, but out of availability of information? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
which
sir.
is unfair. When they say availability of information to everyone. Do you agree जब कंपनी को डील मिला तो वो शेयर आपके पास था ना? Everyone. तो उसका
Yes.
एडवांटेज तो आपको मिलना चाहिए. If you have that information, you will naturally sell it at a higher price, correct? You won't sell it to me at its normal price. So financial system should also ensure that the information is available and it should also ensure that it is regulated. Am I please making sense on this? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now savings. Market gives you various options for you to save and invest your money. You can save and invest in FDs, mutual funds, NPAs, PF, commodities like gold, etc. Randomly, you can do what you need to do. Especially commodities is also a good thing, people. जैसे आपको पता है Nifty 20, Silver 20, I mean the metal ETFs.
Yes, sir.
कितना easy हो गया यार. Otherwise, I mean, you may not be motivated. So suppose आपको पता चला गोल्ड का प्राइस बढ़ने वाला है. You have 50,000 rupees to invest. Example. You may not be motivated to go to the market where you buy the physical gold 10 grams, wait for it to increase and then sell it. It's there on your mobile app now. It can easily happen now. Isn't it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
जैसे for example आप देखो gold bees का return for the past few years. What do I want to see? A simple line. How do I?
ऊपर कॉर्नर में ये सर.
कितने साल का देखते हैं? 1 year. So I think that is a bigger time frame. 1 year is still fine. यहाँ पे कितना है? So it is somewhere in the range of 52. every ETF was in the range of around 51 to 52. And now it is in the range of 65, right? Gold has given significant return in the past. I mean, it is right now at record highs, right?
Yes, sir.
And its easy tradability has made people make money out of it. Do you feel so, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Most of the things you'd be able to connect more when you start to earn. क्योंकि जब आप पैसा कमाएंगे तो आप कहीं इन्वेस्ट करने का सोचेंगे, और जब आप सोचेंगे तो आपको लगेगा यार why don't I diversify and invest in gold as well, and then you realize either you'll end up buying the traditional jewelries, which is the best thing that an Indian household do, right? But if you don't want to waste your money for GST, for labor charges, because when you buy jewelry, you have to pay labor charges as well, right? Along with the value of the gold, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, आपको लगेगा यार 80 rupees का gold खरीदा. For example, you buy 100 rupees, just 80 rupees the gold, 20 rupees the making charges. It's kind of waste, right? Unless you want to wear it. So, in which case, these things you will realize 100% that is the easy thing you can do. Anyways. Borrowing, obviously, we have seen you as an individual can borrow for your home, for your car, for your education, for your personal reasons, anything. Companies can borrow to invest, to expand, to diversify, right? All that comes under people in the class borrowing. Raising capital, which is issuing equity, right? When they say raising capital, cool. So this is an extra and incorrect line written out here. So you'll have to eliminate this line. Cool. So raising equity, obviously it is with the help of investment bank. So like any company who needs money, whether public or private, through this investment bank, right? It can issue money, issue capital, raise money from the equity shares from the market. Risk management is making use of derivatives instrument. Derivatives is a chapter. आपके कोर्स में derivatives एक अलग chapter है. People, do you know that? So, अलग subject I mean to say. That is entirely a different subject. All right. So that is where you will learn that derivatives can be used to manage risk and obviously exchange assets. People, it is the market, like stock market, where you can easily exchange the assets. Correct. Similarly, a forex market where you can trade in forex commodities. Commodity market is also there. So for different assets, you have market. Then second thing is determination of return. As I said, if there would be people in the market who are ready to borrow, ready to lend, they will create the demand and supply for any asset and automatically equilibrium. price or equilibrium interest rate gets decided, capital allocation, right? Capital is limited. So you should find the best place where you can invest your capital. How would you invest? Through the financial system. I mean, whatever has been written out here, cool, we have discussed it. Is that everyone in the class fine? Shall we proceed to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you need to understand about different kinds of assets. Different kinds of markets where one can invest. First is financial asset, another is real asset. Real asset means people, the assets which in reality are assets. For example, the land, the gold, people, any equipment, any building. They are in real world the asset. They have their own value, right? Another category is financial asset. Do you remember in FSA we talked about financial assets and liabilities? Can anyone in the class tell me in FSA what was financial asset?
Marketable securities.
But how do you see a background noise?
No.
ठीक है, cool. So फाइनेंशियल एसेट का डेफिनेशन क्या सीखा था ये बताइए.
Asset to someone is a liability to another person.
So land, building are your real asset. If that is an asset to you, that is not a liability to anyone because the assets are in itself the assets. Unlike that is a share or a bond, that is an asset to you because you have an amount receivable and someone has that amount payable. They are financial assets, which includes bonds, derivatives, currencies, stocks. Cool. Everyone in the class, please?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. In the financial asset, right, you can have debt or equity as your asset, which means when you invest in bond or other fixed income security, have you heard something called as treasury bill, people?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You will learn it in detail later on in the subject of fixed income, what a treasury bill is, what a commercial paper is, what certificate of deposit is. So when you invest in these securities, they are debt securities, right? Because when you invest in these securities, you will receive something along with interest fixed. That amount you will receive back is fixed. However, in equity, once you make the investment, is it compulsory that you will receive a fixed amount, people? No. If the company makes profit, you receive the amount, profits amounts. If the company is not able to make it, you lose your money. That is what the difference between the two is. Then markets, everyone in the class is public as well as private. Public market is the market where you have the tradability available either through stock exchange or through dealers, which means shares or bonds of the companies can be traded through stock exchange through dealers, right? Unlike this are private securities, which doesn't have a platform. Okay. Private securities are to be traded through brokers, through investment banks, right? Which is why they are illiquid and they are not heavily regulated. In case of publicly traded, public in general is involved, so it requires a strict regulation. Do you agree that we have authorities? We have all these authorities like SEBI or RBI or IRDAI. They are made to for the for the interest of public in general, everyone.
Yes.
RBI क्यों बना? ताकि लोगों का नुकसान नहीं हो, right? Otherwise, bank might decide to do whatever they want to do to the public. SEBI बना because investors should not be at loss. They should not lose faith in the market. RDI bana so that insurance company, because all these, see, insurance company takes money from you. And
Yes,
you
sir.
give it with an expectation that you will get the claim if needed. So do you realize that wherever public at large is involved, we have this regulatory body? So since this is privately traded, they are less regulated, right? Regarding derivatives, the entire detailing we learn when we go to the subject of derivatives. Because out here, if I teach you, you won't be able to connect to it. Then this was classification of assets. Whatever we had discussed is the classification of asset. Now we talk about classification of markets. Primary market, secondary market, I'm sure you must have heard these words.
Yes.
कोई बताएगा इसका meaning? People?
Can I try, sir? So primary markets is basically the markets that provide you the raw materials through extraction of natural resources. Secondary markets is basically manufacturing markets, which is like using the raw materials provided by the primary markets to provide it into the secondary markets through manufacturing.
Okay.
So
Your
in
answer
this
may be correct.
case,
Your answer may be correct, but the context was not. You must have
Oh,
heard
okay.
it somewhere, but it doesn't relate to capital markets actually.
Oh, okay.
The
In case of
primary
in
market,
case of
which helps to issue the new securities for the companies, whereas the
Okay.
secondary market, the existing securities of the companies are traded.
This is who? Pradeep.
Yeah, sir.
Pradeep.
Pradeep.
Okay.
sir, and adding on to this,
IPOs can be bought from primary market, and existing funds you can invest in secondary market. Ongoing funds which you want to buy and sell. In case of
Okay.
any IPOs, you have to buy from primary market.
Okay.
Sir, and adding on to that, IPOs are basically when the firm decides to go public for the first time, when they decide to release the equity to the public market, and they can't directly release it to the exchange, rather they leverage the institutional banks, etc., to release this particular IPOs, and then who becomes the primary market, and they issue directly to the first-time investors, and then these securities will get sold on to others directly from the new investors in the exchanges such as NSE, BSE, or any other exchange markets.
All right. So what you're saying, all of you are broadly correct. Me as a company, do you agree that for any security to come into existence, that security is to be issued by anyone, by someone? For example, government might issue a bond, companies might issue shares, company might issue their debentures, bonds, or government issuing treasury bill, banks issuing certificate of deposit. Any security which comes into existence has to be issued by someone, by an entity. So the market where the security is issued for the very first time is primary market. Okay. For example, I start a company. I want to raise money from public. Okay. So I will issue my shares to public in general. That is a primary market. But after the issued shares, so for example, I'm company, I issue the shares to you. You have the shares now. As I said, you don't need to hold it for years. You can sell it whenever you want to. If you want to sell your shares to someone, which means if you want to trade those existing shares, not newly issued shares, then such market is called a secondary market. People in the class, could I explain? Everyone.
yes, sir.
Yes,
So, आप बताओगे stock exchange is primary or secondary?
Secondary.
Secondary.
Secondary. IPO is primary or secondary?
Primary.
Primary.
Not always. Kenchil, what do you want me to repeat? अरे निशिता,
Sorry, sir. I thought it was only for my screen. My bad.
one second, let me disable. No, it does happen because we have a habit of, sometime marking the things while studying or going through that line. Anyways, Kinjal, primary secondary is what? Whenever a security is issued for the first time by the issuer to the investor. For example, government can be an issuer, issues the bond to investor. Company can be an issuer, issues the equity shares or debentures to the investor. So such a market where securities are for the first time issued, that is called as primary market. After a security is being issued, if you buy and sell through stock exchange, through dealer, through however, such market is called as secondary market. Cool.
Sir, you were saying that IPO can sometimes be also in secondary market. So could you give an example?
Yes, I will. आप लोगों को पता है, चलो आईपीओ के पहले एक और चीज बताओ. डू यू नो समथिंग कॉल्ड एज एफपीओ? पीपल.
No, sir.
Follow
sir.
on.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Further public offer.
फर्दर पब्लिक ऑफर या फिर जिसको फॉलो ऑन या फिर फॉलो पब्लिक ऑफर भी बोलते हैं. सुना ऐसा कुछ आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
ये सर जिसके पास पहले ही से स्टॉक रहता है उसको डिस्काउंट में कंपनी इशू कर देता है, आई थिंक.
नहीं.
तो शेयर्स अगर पब्लिक इशू करेगी उसको एफपीओ बोलते हैं ना.
एफपीओ या एफपीओ.
So Adani, do you know sometimes back Adani was trying to come up with the issue of shares? I don't know. ये जो हिंडनबर्ग रिपोर्ट वाला टाइम था ना, people.
यस सर.
Around that time I remember Adani was
20,000 crore FPO.
he was planning to come up with an FPO. Sir, what does that mean? Let me tell you. Adani is already a listed company, which means shares of Adani are anyways publicly traded. But do you agree company can decide to expand, diversify? In which case, if you need more money, people in the class, company can the company is already a publicly listed company, can come, but still company can issue its more shares to public and raise more money from them. So if you are already a public company, right? If you issue your shares, further issue your shares to public, that is further public offer. When you do it for the first time, that is initial public offer. Could I please explain, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
जिसको follow on public offer भी कहते हैं. All right. अभी पता है क्या? In case of IPO, how can IPO be actually a secondary market? Let me tell you. When I say the word IPO, do you know what comes to your perception? That there is this company, say Paytm. Paytm will issue its shares to the investor, and investor in turn will give money to the Paytm. That is what comes to your mind, right, everyone?
Yes, I
But do
guess.
you know what exactly happens sometimes? This is one possibility. There is another possibility that Paytm people never issues its shares. Paytm has already the shareholders in the market, like Tata, like SoftBank, like other investors. They are already holding the shares of Paytm since the Paytm is a private company. Abhi the Paytm is not a public company, that is private company. But now all the investors decide to convert the company into a public company. Which means Paytm comes up with an IPO. People, you call it IPO, but in that case, you don't have, as an investor, if this is you don't have any transaction with the Paytm. Do you know what rather happens? These people who are already holding the shares of Paytm in bulk quantity, they will sell their shares to you. Okay, and you will give them money. So basically they are taking an exit from their investment where Paytm doesn't come into picture. Paytm already has its money through which it's operating its business. It is that these people want to get an exist by converting the company, making the company to a public company. आप समझे क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Everyone in the class, people.
Yes, sir.
यस सर, एक बार फिर से बताते हैं।
अपने को क्या लगता है कि यार आपने जोमेटो का आईपीओ खरीदा, मतलब आपने जोमेटो को पैसा दिया, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट यू थिंक?
नो सर, क्योंकि आईपीओ के टाइम में ही पैसा तो वो ले लो, वो सेकेंडरी मार्केट के बाद तो किसके पास क्या है, किसका शेयर, उसको कंपनी से कोई राब्ता नहीं है।
आपने जोमेटो का शेयर खरीदा सेकेंडरी
यस
मार्केट से, नहीं आईपीओ में खरीदा।
यस सर,
तो आपको क्या लगता है आपने जोमेटो को पैसा दिया, करेक्ट?
यस सर, यस सर।
लेकिन नॉट नेसेसरीली ऑलवेज। देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज ओएफएस, ऑफर फॉर सेल, ऑफर फॉर सेल। इट मींस जो एग्जिस्टिंग इन्वेस्टर्स है ना कंपनी के, जिन्होंने कंपनी में प्राइवेटली इन्वेस्ट किया था एट द टाइम ऑफ फंडिंग,
यस
उनके पास पहले से कंपनी के शेयर्स हैं। एंड कंपनी ऑल्सो हैज सफिशिएंट मनी जिससे कंपनी पैसा ऑपरेट कर रही है, बिजनेस ऑपरेट कर रही है। अभी इन लोगों को इनका इन्वेस्टमेंट्स बेचना है बिकॉज दे थिंक द कंपनी हैव जनरेटेड सफिशिएंट वेल्थ, मतलब कंपनी हैज गॉट सच अ ह्यूज वैल्यू दैट नाउ द कंपनी कैन बी इशूड टू पब्लिक, कंपनी कैन बी कन्वर्टेड पब्लिक। तो कंपनी आईपीओ लेके आएगी जिसमें होगा ऑफर फॉर सेल, जिसका मतलब इनके एग्जिस्टिंग शेयर्स हेल्ड बाय टाटा, सॉफ्ट बैंक और whosoever that investor is, they will issue the shares, they will sell their shares to public in general, and public in general will in turn give money to them. पेटीएम को आपका पैसा मिलेगा भी नहीं, जोमेटो को आपका पैसा मिलेगा भी नहीं if it is offer for sale. And that should be considered secondary market because it is not the company issuing the shares to you, it is that another investor selling its shares to you. Kya everyone in the class, could I please explain this concept to you? What do you say?
यस सर,
Yes,
यस सर।
Yes,
So,
I was trying to
so just
connect
a
the real
question.
world IPO, क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, आपने IPO का मतलब सही समझा है theoretically, but what happens on the real world, वो अपने को IPO जैसा फील होता है, but if you read the detailed documents you will feel that इसमें तो offer for sale है। समझे आप मेरी बात everyone? Next, people in the
So will this investors be given the choice of choosing how much of their ownership would they like to dilute?
100% choice क्या पूरा ही उनके हाथ में है। If they
Okay,
don't
so
want
based
to
on that
dilute,
only.
no one can bound them.
Okay,
आपकी चीजें ना, आपको बेचना हो तो बेचो, नहीं बेचना है तो मत बेचो।
makes sense.
सर आपको कभी आईपीओ अलॉट हुआ क्या, किसी भी कंपनी का? किसी भी कंपनी का, क्योंकि सर प्रोसेस जो है पता नहीं चलता है, मुझे नहीं हुआ है कभी, इस वजह से।
आपका डिटेल्स, आई डोंट नो, वन ऑफ द पॉसिबिलिटी कैन बी डिटेल्स मिसमैच, और दैट यू कैन डू वन थिंग। आप एक बार ये जो थोड़ा सा कम अच्छा कंपनी है ना उसका आईपीओ लगा के देख लो। इट इज सब्जेक्ट टू लॉसेस, दैट इज नॉट एन इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइस ऑब्वियसली, बट एटलीस्ट ये पता चल जाएगा कोई टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है। टेक्निकल इन द सेंस कितनी बार हो सकता है, मे बी देयर इज अ मिसमैच इन, हाउ डू यू अप्लाई इट, नेट बैंकिंग और जीरो द ऐप?
एंजल वन।
ओके, एंजल वन। तो उनकी ऐप से या फिर ऑफलाइन फॉर्म्स होते हैं कुछ?
नहीं सर, सस्ता कंपनी में नहीं जाएंगे।
तो फॉर्म्स वगैरह, क्योंकि देखो, सी इफ द कंपनी इज हाईली सब्सक्राइब्ड देन द प्रोबेबिलिटी इज नॉट देयर, बट अदरवाइज जैसे
यस
होता है ना कंपनी लाइक एलआईसी, जिनका साइज ही इतना बड़ा होता है और सब्सक्रिप्शन भी लिमिटेड टाइम्स होता है,
यस सर।
वहां पे भी अगर नहीं मिल रहा है तो देन देयर मे बी अ टेक्निकल ग्लिच, मे बी द नेमिंग डिफरेंस, your name and the banking records may be different from your PAN or may be different from your DMAT account, something like this. क्योंकि अगर लेस सब्सक्राइब्ड स्टॉक अलॉट हो रहा है मतलब टेक्निकल ग्लिच तो नहीं है, वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। नाउ इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ लक। समझे आप मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
यस सर।
बाकी for very long I have not applied frankly. Anyways,
Sir, just a doubt. Who arranges OFS? Like the company or the investors?
None of them. I mean, company will approach the investment banks and they will do all this.
Okay, yes, yes. That was exactly my doubt. Like who arranges
And that is where your
who's arranging?
future jobs will lie, actually. आपको जो भी future में आपकी jobs और profiles है, these are going to be the jobs and profiles.
Okay, okay, cool. So the company arranges the underwriting and all.
Yeah. Because company belongs to the owner, right? If owner decides to sell their stocks, company will have to, correct? Everyone, then is capital market. Shall we proceed to the next one? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Capital market versus money market. Will anyone in the class please explain this?
Money markets are traded less than 1 year of time.
Capital market is a market where the long-term securities are traded, such as ownership of the companies and all, equities, something like that. Whereas the money market is a market where the short-term securities, such as commercial papers and some of the short-term securities.
Okay.
Yes.
So this time we are breaking down the securities on the basis of people, their maturity. You can have the securities can have maturity of 5 years, 30 years, 100 years, or even more than that. And you can have securities, we can have maturity of 5 days, 7 days, 1 day, 30 days, 90 days. So if the maturity of security is less than a year, that is money market, more than a year is capital market. That is capital market securities. And the 1 second, let me say that again. Securities having maturity less than a year are money market securities, more than a year are capital market securities. And the markets where these securities are traded are called as money market and capital market respectively. Example of capital market: bonds, shares, debentures. Example of money market is certificate of deposit, treasury bill, commercial paper. Sir, what exactly these things are, you will read in the subject of fixed income. Cool? Are you with it, please, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Then traditional investment versus alternative investments. People, if you look at the global market, certain investments are being really traditional, like stocks, like bonds, like shares. I mean, stock, share, one and the same thing. Bonds, FDs, cash. These are traditional investments. And alternative investments, which means the investments which are not traditional, like investing in hedge funds, investing in real estate, investing in commodities, investing in private equities, investing in infra funds, ETFs. All these are considered, people in the class, as alternative investments. Are you understanding? Everyone in the class, please.
Yes, sir.
But do you realize that in Indian context, real estate and commodities are the most traditional way of investments? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
मतलब मेरे grandfathers ने तो, so far as I understand, they would never know what share is. आपके पेरेंट्स या ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स ने कभी इन्वेस्ट किया है शेयर्स में?
No, sir.
No.
For them it was gold, maybe silver, and land. That's all. They knew, they understood. And maybe obviously that unorganized lending, borrowing, where they lend to people and earn interest. So I think in Indian context, वो अपना जो उनका जो alternative है वो अपना traditional है. But yeah. Otherwise, as per CFA, are you people clear what is alternative and what is traditional?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Great. So what exactly alternative investment include? Like what is a hedge fund, what is private equity fund, commodity, real estate? All these things you will learn as we go to the subject of alternative investments, AI. All right. People.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So great. Now when we talk about securities, what comes under securities? when we talk about currencies, contracts mean derivatives. When I say contract, what does it mean? Derivatives. What all comes under? Different kinds of securities that we start to discuss now. All right. Just give me a second. Let me have water, please. People, shall we proceed? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in the securities, first we talk about fixed income securities. Do you know why do we call them fixed income securities? Everyone. Because when we invest in these securities, the amount of or whatever cash flows you will receive from such securities, whatever income, whatever return you will receive from those securities is fixed, determined. Everyone. For example, when you invest in government bond, you know, right, how much rate of interest that bond will give you. You know how much is the final principal amount the bond is going to give you. The same thing you do not know when you invest in equity share. When you invest in the share of TCS, do you know how much dividend you will receive for the next 5 years, people?
No, sir.
No. But for bond, you know how much interest you will receive. Such securities are fixed income. You don't need to specifically remember about the term, right? But it can be short term, long term, or intermediate term. It's not clearly defined, but on a lighter note, you should know that for a shorter period is short term, for a longer period is long term. Okay. So bond, long-term fixed income securities are generally called as bonds. Okay. Notes are generally regarded as intermediate, which means medium-term securities. But broadly, notes and bonds mean the same. Okay. Now, there are certain things which we should not cover now. They will be covered in the chapter of fixed income. So this is my approach, that wherever I feel that there is some duplication, we tend to avoid it. For example, for fixed income security, you should know that, okay, commercial paper or treasury bill or certificate of deposit is a kind of fixed income security. You should know. The exact detailings we will read in the subject of fixed income. Am I please clear, people?
Yes.
Yes. About the equity share, 1 second, let me put my phone on charge. Wait. About the equity shares, people, which is common equity, preferred equity, and warrants, right? Both are the owners. The difference between preferred equity and common equity is that first, preferred equity has preference in profit, preference in the assets, right? Their claim is fixed. Preferred equity, for example, their dividend is 13%. They will get only 13% of dividend on the amount of investment, not more than that. Whereas common equity has residual claim, whatever left out profit is, even if that is 100%, that belongs to common equity. Also, common equity people in the class has voting rights. Do you know what do I mean by voting rights, people?
Yes, sir.
Company mein, whenever a company has to take any decision, certain specific decision as per law are to be taken by the equity shareholders. Do you know how does the structure of company work, people? You are the shareholders of the companies. All of you collectively own this company. If you own the company, is it that you run the company, people?
No, sir.
No.
All of you collectively hire some people who have that qualification, experience, skills. You call them management. The CEO, the CFOs, they have the responsibility of running the company. Okay. However, certain decisions are to be taken by you guys. The law says there's some law called as Companies Act in India, which says certain decisions are to be taken by you as shareholders. In fact, all of you are not going to talk to the management. You will have some representatives. You as a shareholders will have some representatives who can connect to the management. They are called as board of directors. Are you understanding, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, the board of directors will connect to the management. So who will choose the board of directors? Do you agree we are the shareholders who will choose? And for that, how will you choose? Whenever you have multiple people, voting is the best way out. Isn't it? Arey yaar, you are 9 friends. Some people want to have pizza, some people want to have something else. How do you
Yes,
do
sir.
it?
Voting
Majority, right?
is best.
Majority.
Yes,
That
sir.
is what the concept of voting is. Am I clear to everyone, please?
Yes, sir.
So can preferred equity vote? The answer is no.
No.
Then comes the concept of warrants. People, I'm a new company, a newly made company. Okay. When I approach to you to invest in my equity, do you invest, people? No. आपने देखा था क्या? कुछ बिजनेस थे जिसपे शार्क को ट्रस्ट नहीं होता है. If the people will work, if the business will work, if the concept idea market will work or not. देखा है, people?
Yes, sir.
Shark Tank. If you watched
Yes.
any
Yes,
episode,
Yes,
Indian
sir.
version, abroad version, किसी का कोई तो version देखा होगा ना? Shark Tank.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes they don't feel like investing in the company. The alternative to that is warrant. Equity share is 100 rupee. I offer to you equity share of 100, you don't buy. I offer to you another security called as warrant, which means you give me 20 rupees today. I give you a warrant. What does that mean? The warrant means that people in the class, that warrant gives you a choice to buy the share of company later on at a price which is decided today. So for example, I give you a warrant where you will get a choice to buy the share of a company at rupees 120 even after 5 years. Which means after 5 years, even if the share price of the company is 500 in the market, people, you have an option, you have a choice to buy the share at a price of only 120 because you have that warrant. Do you agree this is a midway out? As an investor, You feel okay that, okay, just by investing 20, you get a chance in the ownership. If the company succeeds, you buy the share. If the company fails, you have lost only rupee 20. Am I making sense, people in the class? Could you
Yes, sir.
understand
Yes,
what
sir.
it is?
तो सर बहुत अच्छी बात है ना, करंट
अच्छी बात तो है. Right.
Sir, if you don't mind, could you scroll up a little bit?
और ज्यादा कि बस?
नहीं नहीं हो गया. नहीं नहीं, जिस मेरे को मार्किंग करना था वो नहीं हुआ था बस.
ठीक. All right. So that is what common stock, preferred stock, and warrants are. Pooled investment vehicle. ये क्या होता है? Let me tell you. There are certain investment option in which what happens is that all of us, we are different investors in the market, right? You want to invest, I want to invest. There are thousands of such people like us who want to invest. All of us pooled our money. And that pooled money, people in the class, that pooled money, everyone is then invested in different possibilities. For example, I can be private equity. As a private equity, different investor will invest in me and I will invest my money in different private companies. Or I can be a mutual fund where different investors can invest in me and I will then invest in stocks and bonds. Or I can also be a REIT where different investors will invest in me and I will invest in different real estate properties. Are you please understanding what a pooled investment vehicle is, people?
Yes, sir.
Pooled in and then invested in different opportunities. In that, what is mutual fund? Similar pooling vehicle, just that the investment is made in stocks, debentures, or is left as cash. We have restrictions. Is mutual fund. Am I making sense, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if it is an equity mutual fund, it will invest in equity. If it is an equity growth mutual fund, it will invest in the companies which are expected to grow. If it is equity large cap fund, it will invest in only large cap companies. Okay. Then is ETF. ETF is a kind of mutual fund which can be traded on the stock exchange. For example, you can. For example, do you know what Nifty 50 is? Everyone in the class? Nifty 50.
Broad-based index.
Indices.
What does it mean?
It is the indicator of the top 50 companies which are listed in the National Stock Exchange.
Okay. Which means, can I invest in Nifty 50? When I press on Paytm, I can buy sell Paytm. Similarly, can I buy sell this Nifty 50?
No, sir.
Yes.
No,
Through
sir.
ETF.
You can buy it in derivative.
Yeah, but out here in the spot market, cash market.
No,
Through
sir.
ETF.
So let me tell you, first of all, Nifty 50 is not at all a security. It is just a number, a hypothetical number which represents the entire market, everyone. Abhi aap imagine karo, I choose 50 securities. People in the class. And the collective value of those 50 securities are considered 100,000, for example, on day one. I'm just trying to broadly explain you how the index work. We will learn it in detail later on. Now, do you realize that those 50 stocks, the share price will change? Some share price will increase, some will fall, some remain same, increase, fall, remain same, and so on. So right now, the value of portfolio, which is some number, right, on day one, will change to something on day two after the share price will change. Do you agree to it, everyone?
Yes.
And then you say that, okay, if this particular value is indexed to 1000, meaning to say if this particular value is considered 1000, then next day's value should be accordingly considered. What? Can you feel that proportion? Suppose the value of the portfolio increases by 2%, then index also increase by 2%. You say index become 1020. Next day value of the portfolio decreases by 3%. You say 1020 minus 3%, for example, is 1085, for example. or maybe sorry, 885, for example, 985, my bad, something like this. Are you people understanding what broadly index is? Index is just a number which represents a hypothetical portfolio of top 50 companies in the market. People,
Yes, sir.
समझा पाया क्या मैं क्या होता है? अरे हाँ या ना, everyone in the
Yes,
class?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. And why do we say index represents market? Because those top 50 companies are so big that they drive the entire market. You have top 2-3 companies from different sectors. From IT sectors, you have 3-4 companies. From banking sector, from insurance sector, from healthcare sector, pharmaceutical sector, from metal, telecom, auto sector, any sector you talk about. So that is how they have the, what do you call it? That has a justification to represent the entire, all the sectors, which is in a sense entire economy, in a sense, because economy is made up of different sectors, right? That is what exactly index is. Now you cannot trade an index, but you can trade in shares. Similarly, you cannot trade in mutual funds. If you buy a mutual fund from the company, you'll have to sell it to the company, right? But ETF, everyone in the class, is a mutual fund which can be traded in the market on a real-time basis. For example, Nifty Bs. Nifty Bs is already added. See this one. This is an ETF which replicates Nifty as it is. If the Nifty grows, Nifty B grows. If the Nifty falls, Nifty B falls. And this Nifty B you can buy, sell in the market. If you don't want to invest in a particular share, if you want to follow or create a portfolio, replicate the portfolio of Nifty, you can invest in Nifty B. Are you understanding what an ETF is, people in the class?
Yes, sir.
So, sir, could you explain the difference between Sensex and Nifty? Like, just like a broad perspective.
So, every market, to represent every market, there is an index, correct? How
Okay.
is the market doing? Index tells you. So, in India, you have two markets primarily at national level, NSE, BSE. The index of NSE is Nifty. The index of BSE is Sensex.
Oh, okay.
That's all the differences.
Sir,
Just like it is a hypothetical portfolio of 50 stock, Sensex is a hypothetical portfolio of 30 stocks, if I'm not wrong. Can someone please confirm Sensex is 30, right, people?
yes, sir.
Yes, yes, Sensex is 30.
Sir, what is the difference between active fund and index fund? कौन सा better है?
बेटर तो ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते हैं, बट फर्क इतना सा है कि समझो आप म्यूचुअल फंड हो, तो अगर आप एक्टिव फंड हो ना, तो एज अ म्यूचुअल फंड मैनेजर you will do a lot of research, lot of analysis to actively find out stocks which are going to give you significant returns. I mean higher returns than market. जैसे आप रिसर्च करोगे कि यार एक काम करते हैं अभी, ये कंपनी अंडर वैल्यूड है, इसको ले लेते हैं, इसका मार्केट अच्छा, इंडस्ट्री अच्छा है, कंपटीशन में भी अच्छा स्टैंड एंड एवरीथिंग, यू विल डू दैट रिसर्च एंड एक्टिवली ट्राई टू फाइंड स्टॉक्स व्हिच गिव्स यू बेटर रिटर्न. दैट इज एक्टिव इन्वेस्टिंग, एक्टिव म्यूचुअल फंड. Passive, on the other hand, thinks that it's almost impossible to find out stocks which can give you extra return, which means you cannot generate extra return from the market even if you do any research. So why do you spend amount and energy and time to do the research? You rather passively follow market. मीनिंग टू से जो निफ्टी बना हुआ है एज इट इज, निफ्टी में इन्वेस्ट कर दो, तो जैसे जैसे निफ्टी में रिटर्न मिलेगा आपको भी मिल जाएगा, क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा रिटर्न आप जनरेट कर नहीं सकते हो. समझा पाया क्या मैं?
यस सर, यस सर. सो सर, और ये जो NAV है, नेट एसेट वैल्यू, इसे जो न्यू फंड ऑफर आते हैं 10 रुपए में, और 10 रुपए में बाय करना बेटर है कि जो एग्जिस्टिंग 100 रुपीज के वो बेटर है?
नहीं, उससे कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, वो तो सिंपल सी बात है, एग्जिस्टिंग है, दे हैव ऑलरेडी इन्वेस्टेड। जो नए आते हैं वो डिपेंड करता है वो कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, अकॉर्डिंगली दे विल गेट द वैल्यू, उससे कोई रिलेशन नहीं है। आई मीन दैट इज नॉट द वे टू डिसाइड कि विच वन इज बेटर।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
ठीक
सर
है,
निफ्टी भी एक्सपायर होता है क्या?
एक्सपायर होता है क्या? नहीं नहीं, जितना मुझे पता है वो ऑनगोइंग है, सेकेंडरी मार्केट में ट्रेड होता है, बट देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी, मुझे पता नहीं है फ्रैंकली। ओके पीपल, सो म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्कस कर लिया, ईटीएफ डिस्कस कर लिया। ईटीएफ में देयर इज दिस लाइन व्हिच आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन। ओके, एसेट बैक्ड सिक्योरिटीज क्या होता है ये आप फिक्स्ड इनकम में पढ़ेंगे, हेज फंड्स क्या होता है ये आप कहाँ पढ़ेंगे, ऑल्टरनेटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में। ऑलराइट पीपल, so I think let's do one thing before we move to the next security. Let us take a break, people. Let's meet back at 11:10, everyone in the class, then we proceed with our discussion, people.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir, before that, I want to ask one thing. What is the exactly, I am not getting the difference between mutual funds and ETFs.
we will discuss it after the break.
Oh, okay, sir.
Done?
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
the text you are
Yes.
using and the textbook which I have got is corporate issues and equity investments.
Okay,
So in this textbook, which is the page number for?
can
86, 86.
86, 86.
cool, whose question was it?
My sir.
Great. All right, so let's meet back at 11:10. All right, everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Yep, bye bye. All right. Are you people there?
Yes, sir.
People in the class? Yes. So we have to, first of all, understand the difference between mutual fund and ETF. I think someone asked me this question before going to the break, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? कैसा होता है?
Sir, could you also add one more thing? ULIP भी एक investment product है, like mutual fund.
क्या क्या क्या? फिर से क्वेश्चन पूछिए.
ULIP का भी एक difference between बता सकते हो क्या mutual fund and ULIP के बीच में?
ULIP, that unit linked investment something program.
हाँ, unit linked insurance plan.
मुझे उसका ज्यादा पता नहीं यार. मतलब मैंने सुना है obviously, but didn't come across to it. Does it relates to life insurance as well?
It includes like investment plus life insurance.
हाँ. Okay.
So basically, actually, it's an insurance, but it depends. The fluctuation depends on the market actually. So if market goes up, the value increases. If goes down, so it's totally depend on the Sensex and Nifty.
It's more like mutual fund
Yes.
plus life insurance.
Yes, correct.
करेक्ट. मतलब वो सब अभी ऑफ द ट्रैक हो जाएगा, क्योंकि उसमें भी आप समझ रहे हो, किसी को भी एनी कंपनी हु वांट्स टू मेक अ फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट हैज वेरियस पॉसिबिलिटीज. दे कैन मेक एनी काइंड ऑफ फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट. वो म्यूचुअल फंड के साथ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लिंक कर सकते हैं, उसके साथ मतलब किसी भी चीज को लिंक किया जा सकता है. यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग प्लीज?
Yes, sir.
यस. एनीवेज, अभी ETF क्या होता है ना, लेट मी टेल यू. ETF इज ऑल्सो अ पूलिंग व्हीकल, है ना, जिसमें अपन लोग अपना पैसा इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, राइट? दैट ETF कीप्स अ पोर्टफोलियो विद इटसेल्फ. वो अपने पास एक पोर्टफोलियो बनाता है, राइट? एंड टू रिप्रेजेंट दैट पोर्टफोलियो, एंड दैट पोर्टफोलियो इज पीपल, that portfolio follows Nifty. That portfolio tracks Nifty. For example, any index, I'm talking about Nifty. So if Nifty has these many stocks in this weightage, right? Even the portfolio will have the same stock in the same weightage. All right. And this amount is invested in this portfolio. And to represent this portfolio, इस portfolio को हम कह रहे हैं underlying securities. This portfolio has all these securities. They are called as underlying securities. Okay. And this money, people in the class, the investors who gave money to the fund, right? They are issued the units. Investors जिन्होंने पैसा दिया था ETFs को, they are issued the units of ETF. Now, what is the difference? And unless I have to talk technical, the primary difference is ये जो units आपको मिले हैं ना, right? They can be traded, which means these units are listed on the stock exchange. ETF के units को shares की तरह stock exchange पे list कर सकते हैं, which can be traded in the market, bought and sold in the market. Okay, investors can trade in it. And second point of difference is that ये इनका जो प्राइस होता है, right? इनका जो प्राइस होता है, how does it get decided? Obviously based on buyers and sellers, demand and supply. But at the same time, the prices of the units does not deviate much from the NAV, which means fund अपना NAV, the fund will come up with its NAV that based on the value of the portfolio, based on the value of underlying security, the unit should have an NAV of this much in the market. The funds come up with its NAV, right? And the price of the unit at which it trades, okay, has nothing to do with the NAV. That is decided among the buyers and sellers, but the price is close to NAV. People in the class, are you understanding? Mutual fund issues a value that the value of the unit, value of every unit based on the value of the portfolio is this much. That mutual fund comes up with. And investors trade among themselves at a particular price, which is more or less around its NAV. वो NAV से बहुत ज्यादा deviate नहीं हो सकती. In which case the mutual fund, the owner, I mean the investor, unit holder, can approach the ETF for the conversion of its unit on NAV. मतलब वो बोल सकता है म्यूचुअल फंड को, उस ETF को, कि मुझे अपना यूनिट सेल करना है और मुझे NAV इतने पैसे दे दो. Are you understanding, people in the class?
And NAV is
Value of a unit based on the value of the portfolio. अगर
okay.
portfolio का value बढ़ेगा, तो do you agree automatically this total portfolio belongs to who? To these 5 units, right? So total
Yes.
value of portfolio divided by 5 becomes the value of every unit, which is NAV.
Okay.
समझा पाया?
हाँ.
Others in the class, are you okay with it? Please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is what an ETF is. Cool.
सर बट आई थिंक म्यूचुअल फंड का प्राइसेस भी ऐसे ही डिसाइड होता.
म्यूचुअल फंड के प्राइसेस में लोग ट्रेड नहीं करते ना, वो NAV पर ही ट्रेड हो सकता है. खुद का प्राइस डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते लोग.
ओके सर. व्हाट तो सर इन केस ऑफ म्यूचुअल फंड्स जो प्राइस डिसाइडेड है उसी प्राइसेस पर ट्रांजैक्शन होंगे.
एग्जैक्टली.
उस पर डिमांड एंड सप्लाई का कोई इफेक्ट नहीं
कोई
होगा.
रोल नहीं है.
ओके सर.
यहाँ पे आप देखना, जब आप मार्केट ओपन रहेगा ना, देखना किसी दिन निफ्टी 5 बाय चांस रैंडमली समझो निफ्टी 2% गिरा है ना, पर निफ्टी बी जो है ना, निफ्टी बी कहाँ गया, ETF, ये 2% से नहीं गिरेगा. जैसे अभी देख लो, निफ्टी 0.89% से गिरा है लास्ट फॉल.
ओके.
ठीक है. बट निफ्टी 20 कितने से गिरा है? सिर्फ 0.60 से. कैन यू सी दैट ऑन द स्क्रीन?
यस सर.
क्योंकि सेलर्स उससे कम में बेचने के लिए रेडी नहीं है. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? NAV हो सकता है, NAV हो सकता है 0.8 से गिरा होगा, लेकिन इसको सेलर इससे कम में नहीं बेच रहा है. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? अभी किसी बायर को खरीदना है तो खरीदे, नहीं खरीदना है तो नहीं खरीदे. इज द पॉइंट. ओके.
यस सर.
So is it better to invest in ETF or mutual fund?
ट्रेडेबिलिटी की बात है, क्योंकि मोरलेस तो आपका NAV सेम ही रहेगा, प्राइस NAV के अराउंड ही रहेगा. इफ यू वांट ट्रेडेबिलिटी यू इन्वेस्ट इन ETF, इफ यू डोंट वांट ट्रेडेबिलिटी यू इन्वेस्ट इन म्यूचुअल फंड.
Okay.
ये सर निफ्टी बीज ट्रेडिंग व्यू में नहीं दिखाता,
वो
मेरे को
वेबसाइट
ट्रेडिंग व्यू में
ट्रेडिंग
नहीं
व्यू
दिखा. हाँ.
मुझे
लाइक
नहीं
लाइक द
पता,
ऐप.
दैट आई डोंट नो.
नहीं है मिला
ठीक है.
ETF में है. ठीक है.
बट अभी आपकी स्क्रीन पे जूम होना चाहिए. ठीक है.
नहीं है, मतलब
आप
जस्ट
सेइंग
चेक कर
अभी
रहा था.
आपकी स्क्रीन पे जूम का स्क्रीन होना चाहिए.
हाँ.
जूम ऐप जिससे आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो. चलिए. So everyone in the class, we move to the next discussion, which is on currencies. Just give me a sec. Sir, currencies are ideally not supposed to be the investments, right? They are why were currencies made as a medium of exchange? कि आपको कुछ खरीदना है तो आपके पास पैसा होना चाहिए, आपको कुछ बेचना है तो आपको पैसा मिल जाएगा. Are you understanding?
So
अरे वो बार्टर इमेजिन कर सकते हो, बार्टर का सोल्यूशन है ना करेंसी. पीपल, I have
Yes.
phone, you have wheat. Not necessarily if I want to sell phone to you, I want to have wheats, right? Not necessarily I want to have wheats. But currency become a common medium of exchange. कि आप मुझे currency दे देना, using that currency, whatever I want to buy, I will buy. correct? But since different countries have their different currencies, what happens? The value of currency relative to another fluctuates. Rupee per dollar at some point was 60, at some point became 70, now is, for example, 80. Because of which dollar has become, since it is a currency, it has become an avenue of investment. Sir, just like the share price of every share of TCS, from 4,000, it can move up and down. Similarly, dollar can also, which is right now 80, can move up and down. So similar to the price of fluctuation, the share price, there can be fluctuation in the currency. The only difference is when you invest in share along with price fluctuation, you earn dividend. In this case, along with price fluctuation, you don't earn anything. Are you understanding how is currency also investment area where you can invest, people?
Forex, right?
Forex, yes. People? Then comes contract, which is derivatives contract, the details of which we cannot cover now because it is not something which can be explained in short. If I have to explain to you something called as forward or futures or options of subs, this thing itself is going to take 2 hours, which is obviously in far more detail covered in the chapter of derivatives. Am I please clear with this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then what is insurance? Sir, insurance actually relates to derivatives. I will explain to you insurance, but it relates to derivatives. Sion, background voice. So insurance, everyone, is a very simple thing. Either it is life. So basically, against any kind of loss, you have insurance. It can be loss of property. It can be loss of health. It can be loss of life. It can be any loss. So you deposit your premium. You give some amount to the insurance company in the form of premium. If loss occurs, they compensate to you. If the loss doesn't occur, your amount is lost. Are you please understanding, everyone? अगर आपको लॉस हो गया तो वो आपको पैसा दे देंगे, लॉस का अगर लॉस नहीं हुआ तो आपका पैसा गया. Cool, please, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So in a sense it is funny कि आप एक लॉस को बचाने के लिए दूसरा लॉस करते हो, क्योंकि आपको अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो प्रीमियम गया. You know how does the term insurance work, people?
Yes, sir. सर अभी नए इंश्योरेंस
आप इंश्योरेंस
sorry.
कंपनी के पास गए फॉर टर्म इंश्योरेंस, which is for the loss of life, correct? So you'll be like कि if in case for example, you have taken a 1 crore rupee term insurance from the insurance company. Okay. And then for example, that is a very simple kind of term insurance. उसमें और कोई feature नहीं है. तो उसमें क्या होगा? If you pay premium, right? If something happens to someone's life, you get the amount of 1 CR. If nothing happens, the amount is lost. Next year again you next year again you pay premium. If something happens in that year, you get the amount back. If nothing happens, the amount is lost. Are you understanding how simple the product of insurance is, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Similarly, car insurance or similarly anything. 1 second, someone shared me a message. Who's this? Do we have this person in the class whose number ends with 9526? Someone from the group?
यस सर. शादाब सर. नहीं आ गए सर.
हो गया फिर ज्वाइन?
यस सर.
ठीक है, मुझे पता नहीं क्यों मैसेज अभी दिखा रहा है. One second. Great. So this is what insurance contract is. Similar to insurance is credit default swap, CDS, right? ये आप कहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे? In the subject of fixed income securities. Then you have people in the class commodities. Commodities can be anything. Okay, depending upon the demand supply, the prices of commodity change. Commodity can be precious metal like gold, silver. It can be industrial metals like steel, copper, right? It can be agricultural product like sugar, wheat, soybean. It can be energy products like oil, gas, right? It can be carbon credits as well. आपको पता है carbon credits क्या होता है?
Yes, sir.
यस सर, ये सर एक देश दूसरे देश को बेचता है, खरीदता है। ये एग्रीमेंट ग्लोबल में हो चुका है कि कौन कितना इमिशन करेगा, तो जिसको कम करना रहता है तो वो एक दूसरे को बेच देता है, उसके बदले में उसको मनी मिलता है, वो इंडस्ट्री लगाने के टाइम।
Okay. Correct. Anyone who wants to add to it?
We don't know.
Tesla buys or sells carbon credit, I think so.
So wasn't this the main reason why the 2008 crisis happened as well for the credit default swap?
Which one? Which bonds?
Due to credit default swap only the 2008 crisis happened, right?
That is CDS.
CDOs. That's a CDO.
The whole movie Big Short is based upon CDS.
वो अलग चीज है, हाँ.
MBS.
वो all that will come. Mortgage backed securities, CDS, all that you will see in the fixed income, and it relates to the movie Big Short. Correct. Okay. हम लोग अभी बात कर रहे हैं कार्बन क्रेडिट्स की. So it relates to actually environment. Everyone, do you realize that carbon harms environment? People, 1 second, let me put this on silent. So ये तो हमें समझ में आता ही है that carbon harms environment. Correct, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And to whatever development you make, construction, manufacturing, operating automobiles, operating factories, what does it lead to? It leads to emission of, in terms of gas or liquid or solid, different forms of carbons, right? Which is bad for environment. So there have been some regulations at country level, at global level, regarding how much carbon can a company produce, how much carbon can a company emit in any form, which means you have a limitations of how much harm can you make to the environment. This is funny, although, which means they are accepting the harmfulness to the environment, but in a limited manner at the cost of, I mean, subject to development. Since what you do will help economy to grow, to develop, it will generate GDP, it will generate employment, all that it will do. So which is why in a limited manner you can harm the environment. This is what the deal is. Are you understanding? If you realize, in a sense, you'll find it funny. People.
Carbon taxes, right?
Carbon dioxide is one of the gas.
नहीं, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड नहीं, मैं बोला कार्बन टैक्स से कर रहा है ना.
कार्बन टैक्स से मतलब पहले तो आपको क्रेडिट दे रहे हैं, in the sense that they put a limit on how much can you release or emit carbon in the environment in any form.
Okay.
Now If you emit less than your limit, people, that become an asset for you because you can sell that credit. They give this limit to offer this much of carbon, right? But you are emitting on this much, only this much, which means, do you agree for this much of carbon, you have a right to sell it to some other company, which means if they are emitting more than their limit, government can penalize them. So you can sell your limit to them against some money, people, and they can buy the limit from you and emit more carbon. Because obviously, to reduce the carbon emission, you will have to invest in such machineries, right, people? You will have to invest in such manufacturing process. You will have to, buy recycled things, then the new things. You might have to use recycled products, recycled plastic, recycled aluminum, metals in the manufacturing, then the fresh ones. For example, was it our class where I gave the example of Apple event, people? Just say, for example, you must have heard Nike or Adidas or Apple saying that our product is made up of 100% recycled fiber, recycled plastic, or recycled metal, like aluminum. What they want to say is that we are not further harming environment. When Apple says our product is carbon neutral, meaning to say हमने जितना carbon emit किया है, उससे ज़्यादा carbon consume किया है to make this product. People, everyone in the class. So those credits can also be traded in the market. Companies can buy and sell the credit depending upon how much carbons are you saving, how much approved limits of carbon emission are you saving, and how much are you using. मैं समझा पाया क्या, people in the class?
ट्रेड परमिट्स जैसा ना?
Trade permits as in?
मतलब वही कार्बन के लिए, मतलब आपके पास अगर इतना परमिट है कि आप इतना मतलब एमिट कर सकते हो कार्बन गैस, और आपका मतलब आपका कम हो रहा है, देन द ट्रेड परमिट अलाउज यू, तो फिर आप यू कैन सेल दोस परमिट्स टू अदर कंपनीज.
Yes, correct. है ना? Cool. So commodities can be traded in the spot market, in the sense you can buy gold, you can sell gold, you can buy wheat, you can buy sugar, right? You can buy rice. They can also be traded in forward and futures, which means once you start to understand derivatives, you will know what this is. Am I clear? Then comes real asset, right? We are learning different kinds of assets in the market. Real assets means trading in real estate, equipment, machineries, in building. Real estate is building, obviously, land. Okay. So who should invest in these kind of assets? Real estate are illiquid. Why are they illiquid? Because of something called as heterogeneity. Is that word here in the book? Okay, so as you go to alternative investment, you will come across this word called as heterogeneous asset. देखो एक चीज बताओ. Do you agree that all the shares of equity, all the shares of TCS are same? Does it matter to you whether you're buying this share of TCS or this share of TCS? If TCS has 1 lakh shares or all 1 lakh has the same features, same benefit, they are homogeneous in nature. Whereas real estate is not homogeneous. In the same building, if there are 10 apartments, they will have different value depending on whether they are sea facing, east facing, west facing, they are on 5th floor or 10th floor or 30th floor. Are you understanding my point, people?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Every asset, if this is this building, will have a different value, and building, another building near to that building will have a different value. Right? The assets are heterogeneous, which is why they are illiquid. And since they are illiquid, their amount may be stuck for a longer period, and the amount involved is also huge. You can invest 10,000 rupees in share, but it's hard to invest 10,000 rupees in an apartment. Are you understanding? I mean, you cannot invest 10,000 in an apartment. So it is suitable for investors having high net worth, or maybe institutional investor, because the amount involved is huge. The time period for which amount is involved is huge. The properties can involve high management and maintenance, because of which real asset investment is not appropriate for a small investor. However, we have a psychological barrier, which is why even if you have less amount of investment available with you, the first thing we as an Indian will ensure is our own apartment, our own house. समझ रहे हो आप मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? आपके पास पैसा कम भी होगा ना, तो सबसे पहले आप इमोशनली क्या इंश्योर करोगे? खुद का एक घर, राइट पीपल? आप ऐसा नहीं सोचोगे कि मेरे पास 5 लाख रुपए आपके पास. इट्स नॉट दैट इफ यू हैव 5 करोड़ रुपीस सो यू इन्वेस्ट 1 करोड़ इन रियल एस्टेट, 1 करोड़ इन इक्विटी, सर 1 करोड़ इन bonds, 1 crore in gold. If you have 1 CR, you will first of all buy your own house, and then additional money you will think of buying gold, ETFs, or whatever set of things. Are you understanding what I'm saying, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
real estate, your own home, your own house has a different value. Okay. Another option of investing in real estate is through REITs and everything. Again, इसका detailing भी आपको कहाँ मिलेगा? In the subject of alternative investments. Cool, everyone, please. So in the chapter of equity, we have learned what different things are, the details of which will be covered in respective subject. All right. Now you have to understand different kind of financial intermediary and services they provide. For example, you are an investor. You want to invest. There is a company who wants to raise money, but there is a broker in between. When I say intermediary, the person who, help you to execute the trade or help you to execute the borrowing or lending. Sir, I want to sell, someone else want to buy, but there is a person in between who helps in the execution. Are you understanding what do I mean by intermediary, people?
Yes.
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 जैसे आप एक बात बताओ, आपको शेयर खरीदना है, किसी और को बेचना है, क्या आप डायरेक्टली स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे जा सकते हो खरीदने बेचने?
No, sir.
If you want to buy, someone wants to sell, can you directly go to stock exchange to buy or sell?
No.
Can you have your own account in Nifty on the website NSE? क्या आप NSE के पास आपका अकाउंट है? BSE के पास आपका अकाउंट है? No. Here you have your account with the broker. Zerodha is the broker. Grow is the broker. Have you heard this? GROW?
Yes, sir.
GROW. So Grow is the broker. Angel is the broker. Sher Khan is the broker. I don't know these companies still exist or not. Sher Khan अभी चलता है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Market.
Shadab, it seems that you are in one room and your laptop is in another. आपकी आवाज ही नहीं आती है.
अभी आ रही है सर? यस.
क्या बोल रहे थे आप?
शेर खान सर चलता है, बट उसका मार्केट कम as compared to
Market
other.
share has fallen.
But नहीं, but शेर खान is actually like कि रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स टारगेटेड है ही नहीं, क्योंकि HNIs ज्यादा यूज करते हैं शेर खान.
ऐसा है?
फुल
हाँ
सर्विस ब्रोकर है.
Yes,
हाँ,
sir,
फुल
full
टाइम
service.
सर्विस ब्रोकर है वो.
कोटक
And it has
सिक्योरिटी
been
के था.
acquired by Mira Asset.
Sorry.
It has been acquired by Mira Asset.
हाँ,
Okay.
पहले BNB के पास था, अभी मिराई के पास है.
Okay. So brokers, right? In the retail side, they help you to trade. You have offline brokers like ICICI Securities, Kotak, HDFC Securities, right? And then you have online brokers like Zerodha, etc. They help you to execute the trade. Brokers can also be thought in terms of, real estate properties, right? For example, real estate mein to broker, I'm sure 100% you must have seen. If you want to buy something, you approach a broker. If you want to sell something, you approach a broker. And through the broker, you are able to buy and sell. Are you agreeing to it, everyone?
Yes.
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 Broker can also help you to do block trades. ब्लॉक ट्रेड क्या होता है? जहां पे ऑफ द स्टॉक एक्सचेंज यू बाय ह्यूज क्वांटिटी ऑफ बायर शेयर्स फ्रॉम समवन डायरेक्टली. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर अ म्यूचुअल फंड, यू ओन some big lakhs or thousands numbers of shares of a company, right? You want to sell your shares. There is another mutual fund who wants to buy the shares. If they buy and sell through stock exchange, people, the prices can significantly fluctuate. So they make this deal happen off the stock exchange directly between the parties through someone who's called as broker. For example, ICICI Security is a broker who help the institutional clients in such block deals. So ICICI Security will have to have a buyer as well as seller, and they will execute the trade between the two parties. Am I clear, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, fine. Investment banks, which help you to raise money. Company wants to raise money, either through equity or through debt or through any source, right? There are investors who want to invest. So it is that investment bank which make this transaction execute. Because it's not about raising money, there is a long process which is to be followed. When you come to fixed income, you will know how long the process is. Company will talk to the investment bank will approach the company will approach the investment bank. Investment bank will talk to the company, figure out why do they need money, right? What is the suitable way? Should the money be raised through equity or through debt? If it is debt, what kind of debt security? For how long period? They structure the security. If it is equity, they identify should we go public or should we raise it privately through some investors, right? Then there is something called as underwriting. We will talk about it. All that job investment do. They decide the price, that at what price band. But for example, when you apply to an IPO, right? When you look at that advertisement in the newspaper for an IPO, in that advertisement, you might find the investment banker, the lead runners, people, which means whom has the company hired for that issue to manage that issue. So that may be ICICI Securities or any company, right? After the issue price is decided, when you invest in IPO, you see a price range, right? Who decides that price? Is it the company or the investment bank? Obviously in coordination with the company, but that is investment bank. Investment bank decide करता है कि किस price पे issue करेंगे. Everyone. And then the issue happens. All right. So there is this complete set of service that investment bank offers. In fact, investment banks can also be an intermediary for merger acquisition. आपको एक company acquire करना है, right? So there has to be some investment bank in between that will make the deal happen, because there are a lot of things related to that. For example, when one company acquires another, there is, for example, due diligence. I want to acquire you. You claim that I have this much of revenue, this much as profit, this much customer base. So it has to be verified somehow, right? That due diligence, that detailed verification is to be done through investment bank. Is that everyone in the class fine?
Yes.
Yes. Then you have to understand someone called as dealer. People. Dealer मतलब क्या होता है? Someone who is a party to the transaction himself. For example, sir, if I am a broker, I will just make sure that someone who wants to buy the asset, someone who wants to sell asset, I will make a meeting between them. I will not buy or sell. Yes.
असली investment
Tejal, can I complete the discussion?
Okay.
People. So if you want to buy something or if you want to sell something, you may approach the broker. Broker will arrange the meeting. The buying and selling happens between you guys. And if I am a dealer, for example, RBI has made me a dealer for Forex. If you want to buy, you buy from the dealer. Or if someone wants to sell, people, they will approach the dealer, which means dealer will become a buyer to a seller and dealer will become seller to a buyer. They will transact with the dealer. No parties will directly transact among themselves. If you want to buy dollars, you cannot buy it from anyone directly. Legally, you will have to buy it through authorized person, and that authorized entity in India is that dealer, Forex dealer, that bank. Could I please explain the difference between broker and the dealer? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
समझ पाए आप लोग क्या फर्क है दोनों में? What does
Yes.
broker earn? The brokerage commission. आपने फॉर एग्जाम्पल 1 CR का प्रॉपर्टी बेचा, 2% इज द ब्रोकरेज, 2 lakhs will be his amount of earning, the broker. Correct? Unlike this is people in the class dealer. If the dealer buys, for example, dealer buy from this party, dealer will say that the price at which dealer buy is called as bid price. The price at which dealer sell is called as ask price or offer price. So dealer will always buy at a lower price and sell at a higher price. When dealer buy, he will pay, for example, rupee 100 for a bond. However, if dealer sell, he will receive 105 on that bond. So the difference between bid price and ask price, the price at which he buys and the price at which he sells, the difference, people, is bid ask is spread, and that is what the earning of dealer is. People in the class, is it making sense? What he receives is ask price and what he pays while buying is bid price. Come on, quick, yes or no? I need a validation from all the students here. बताइए.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
समझा पाया क्या difference between dealer and broker?
Yes, sir. सर डीलर तो दोनों तरफ से लेता होगा 2%, राइट सर?
कौन?
मतलब डीलर सेलर के साइड से भी 2% कमीशन चार्ज करता होगा और बायर
कमीशन
के
नहीं ना,
साइड
सेलिंग प्राइस में ही डिफरेंस है.
ओ
मैं आपसे कुछ
या आई
पूछता
सी आई
हूँ,
सी
आप मेरे पास आओ, आपको ये फोन खरीदना है,
यस सर
तो अगर आपको खरीदना है तो मैं 30,000 में बेचूंगा. लेकिन अगर आपके पास ये फोन है और आप मुझे बेचना चाहते हो तो मैं 28,000 में खरीदूंगा.
ओके
Because I am a dealer, I sell at a high price, I buy at a low price. Simple. Are you understanding?
यस सर. सर रिस्क भी बहुत ज्यादा लेके रखे हुए रहते हैं
हाँ, because you have
डीलर्स.
stock, उसके price fluctuate हो सकते हैं.
यस
Because when I buy and sell, I have to keep some stock with myself too, right? The prices can fluctuate, is surely a risk. Broker has no risk. He has no inventory to hold.
यस.
तो सर डीलर जो मतलब प्रोसेस ये करता है, तो कैन वी कॉल इट एज आर्बिट्रेज ओनली?
नहीं नहीं नहीं. So as you go to derivative, you realize that arbitrage is different thing. Dealer arbitrage is when you identify mispricing in the market. As a dealer, your job is to buy and sell and earn that spread. Arbitrage और इसमें कैसे explain करें आपको? जैसे for example, you identify by chance that a share on NSE, you are an investor. You identify that a share on NSE is listed at 1,000, on BSE it is listed at 1,005. So you identify कि यार 5 rupees का difference है. So for example, you purchase it from NSE and you sell it on BSE. Just randomly I'm saying, people. What you're doing is arbitrage. That does not mean that you have a business of buying from people and selling from people. Dealer has a business, has a job, has an authority of doing it. He can also do arbitrage. But his business is to earn the spread, on the difference. It is not that I mean, what he's earning is the difference between the two prices, but we don't call it mispricing actually. समझा पाया कि मैं आपको?
हाँ सर.
वो भी आर्बिट्राज कर सकता है, बट उसके बिजनेस को आर्बिट्राज नहीं बोल सकते इन जनरल. Okay.
Sir, is dealer always on the OTC side?
Yes.
Okay.
OTC market are also called as dealer market, which means, see, if you want to buy sell share, one option is stock exchange. If you want to buy sell shares bond, another option is go to dealer. Bonds are not listed. So if the security is not listed, there has to be a place where that security can be bought and sold. The place is everyone in the class dealer. And the market which is driven by dealer, where the buying selling happens through dealer, is called as OTC market, over the counter market. Okay. Cool. All right. So you have learned what a broker is. You have learned what a dealer is. Broker dealer is someone who offers both the services, right? So you are dealer, but if you get an opportunity to find a broker, I mean, you also offer brokerage service, means sometimes you act as broker. Rather than you buying and selling in the transaction, you meet, arrange the two people and they buy, sell among themselves, right? So that is a broker dealer service. All right. Bid ask, you have learned dealer spread, which means bid ask spread, you have learned primary dealers, people. This relates to central bank. For example, RBI wants to issue the bonds. Will you buy the bonds directly from RBI? Issued by RBI? No. RBI will issue the bonds to these dealers. It has identified some dealers, right, who will buy the bonds from RBI, okay, in bulk. And those bonds which are then sold by these banks, these dealers, to individuals, to public in general. That is how the trading of RBI bonds happen. The issue of RBI bonds happen. Am I please clear, everyone? For example, आपको पता है sovereign gold bonds, people?
Yes, sir.
Government, Indian government, through RBI, is issuing the bonds which are linked to gold prices. Today, whatever is the gold price, at that rate, the bond will be issued to you. You give the money to the government. At the time of redemption, when the gold price will increase, you can redeem the bond at that price. Okay. So RBI is not directly going to issue the sovereign gold bond to you. They will issue to the banks, whatever identified dealers RBI has identified, and the banks will issue the bonds to you. So now if you log into your net banking, हो सकता है आपको आपकी net banking पे sovereign gold bond का option दिख जाए in the investment section. Are you understanding, people?
Yes.
Okay. Then another is exchange. Exchange is simply a place जहाँ पे सारी stock की trading होती है. वहाँ पे people can put the orders, electronic orders, right? For example, यहाँ पे अभी अपन TCS में जाके buy press करेंगे, right? Whenever I swipe right, to buy the security, I will end up placing my order. So exchange is the place where all the orders of buying and selling gets accumulated and they gets executed. All right. So do you realize this chapter is about knowing the basics of everything? What all happens in the market, you should know the basics. People.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Alternative trading system. तो क्या होता है? They are alternative to stock exchange. Stock exchange are highly regulated for retail people. Unlike this, are alternative trading system, which are kind of exchange, but they are unregulated. Plus, they are made for bulk orders, huge orders. Okay, if you want to trade in large quantity, for that large quantity, if you put the order on the stock exchange, the prices will significantly fluctuate. आप समझ रहे हो, market में there are people who want to sell 100 share, 50 share, 1000 shares, and if you put an order to buy 1 lakh shares, do you agree the share price will shoot up? Because all of them will think there is a huge demand, they will increase the price. Everyone. आप समझ रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? People in the class, are you understanding?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Others, कुछ लोग तो पक्का सो गए.
नहीं नहीं सर, है हम लोग इधर.
जो लोग सो गए ना, उनको फिर बाद में डिफिकल्टी आएगी, आई एम श्योर. Anyways, so alternative trading system is that alternative place जहाँ पे large orders can be executed without impacting the price on the main stock exchange. Okay, so that someone who wants to buy huge quantity don't have to pay extra price to buy it, or someone who wants to sell huge quantity don't have to sell it at a lower price. Okay, that is alternative trading system. Dark pools भी क्यों कहते हैं इन्हें? Because they don't reveal the complete details regarding buying and regarding the selling. The transaction happens, transaction gets executed properly, but entire details of buying and selling is not shared, okay, on such system. Something called a securitizer, which means, yeah.
Are block trades done on ATS?
नहीं.
तो अपने ब्लॉक ट्रेड्स भी कहा था
ब्लॉक ट्रेड्स में एक्सचेंज का रोल ही नहीं है, वो ब्रोकर के थ्रू डायरेक्टली पार्टीज के बीच में हो जाता है. Whose question was it?
निष्ठा.
Nishtha, sorry.
Yes.
Nishtha. For block trade, you don't need exchange. You approach a broker like HDFC Securities. One mutual fund wants to buy, they will approach them. Another wants to sell, they will approach them. And the transaction will happen. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So, sir, here, sir, this is Vinod. So, alternative trading system in that, is this a regulated market?
Less regulated market. Out here, it is an exchange. People can, put the buying and selling bids on this platform, similar to stock exchange.
So, is it legal or illegal?
Legal, obviously.
सर उसका मार्केट प्राइस पे इम्पैक्ट होता है?
मार्केट प्राइस पे इम्पैक्ट नहीं होता है, बिकॉज whatever transaction happens on the alternative trading system, right, that price doesn't affect the main market. But whatever are the prices in the main market, वो main market के price से ATS का price affect होता है. क्योंकि ATS पे कम लोग हैं ना. People in the class, you have to realize, people have large quantity, but we have limited people on ATS. And when you have limited people, do you agree price determination is very difficult? Because when there are large number of people, they will compete among themselves. I taught you, right? Different people who wants to buy, they will compete for buying. Those who want to sell, they will compete for selling, and the equilibrium price gets decided. But what if there are 3 buyers and 8 sellers? It becomes difficult, right? Rather than hundreds of them. So the price which is there in the main market is sometimes used as the price to trade in ATS market. Could I explain
What
to you?
is the difference between a bulk trade and this?
ATS. Bulk trade mein there is no exchange. ATS is a type of stock exchange where people can buy and sell. Bulk trade mein there is no exchange. You approach a broker, the same broker another party approaches, and the transaction happens through the broker without a stock exchange between the parties directly. समझे आपने क्या बोला?
Yes, sir.
सर ये डब्बा ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम चलता है वही है क्या ये?
डब्बा ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम तो कमोडिटीज को बोलते हैं हमारे यहाँ पे।
ओके, तो वो लीगल है कि इलीगल है?
डब्बा शायद इलीगल होता है क्योंकि वो लोग प्रॉपरली स्टॉक पे ट्रेड नहीं करते, दे जस्ट राइट द एंट्रीज ऑन डायरी। मतलब आप मेरे पास आए बोले मुझे खरीदना है, तो मैं आपको बेचूंगा नहीं, मैं सिर्फ आपका प्राइस लिख लूंगा जिस पे आपने खरीदा। फिर आफ्टर सम टाइम यू विल कम टू मी सेइंग दैट मुझे बेचना है, तो अगेन मैं आपको से I won't buy from you, but I will mark the price for selling. And difference between buying selling is your profit, my loss, or my profit, your loss.
ओके ओके,
समझे आपने क्या बोला?
यस सर।
पर सर इससे डिमांड सप्लाई कैसे डिटरमाइन होता है? क्योंकि
किससे?
सर एटीएस से, क्योंकि सर बड़े ऑर्डर्स होते हैं तो मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल
लिमिटेड
जैसे
डिमांड लिमिटेड सप्लाई प्रॉब्लम है ना,
हाँ हाँ।
तो प्रॉब्लम
पर
है।
सर तो सर मतलब मार्केट प्राइस सर फ्लक्चुएट होना चाहिए ना, बड़े
सॉरी,
ऑर्डर्स
मार्केट
हो रहे
प्राइस?
थे, फ्लक्चुएट होना चाहिए ना सर इससे मतलब।
क्योंकि मार्केट प्राइस आप कहाँ से देखते हो? एटीएस से देखते हो या फिर एनएससी से देखते हो? एनएससी से
एनएससी से।
देखते हो ना, और एनएससी पे तो ये ट्रांजैक्शन हो ही नहीं रहा है, तो अलग ही जगह जहाँ ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है।
ओके ओके सर, ओके।
ओके,
तो सर एफआईआईज और डीआईआईज इधर करते हैं क्या, मतलब बल्क ऑर्डर्स?
सॉरी,
एफआईआईज और डीआईआईज वो उनके मतलब ऑर्डर्स कैसे प्लेस करते हैं,
हाँ
इधर प्लेस
वो
करते हैं या
वो
एनएससी पे?
एटीएस पे प्लेस करते हैं, उनके ब्रोकर्स के थ्रू करते होंगे, राइट? या फिर वो बल्क डील करता है
ओके सर।
थ्रू थ्रू अगेन थ्रू ब्रोकर्स या फिर इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर्स। ऑलराइट
सर सर एटीएस के थ्रू कोई एक्सचेंज हुआ तो उसका न्यूज़ भी बाहर आता होगा?
आई डोंट थिंक सो, और मुझे तो ये भी नहीं लगता है कि इंडिया में एटीएस फंक्शन है। लेट मी चेक।
सर ऐसे जनरली सुनते हैं कि बड़े इन्वेस्टर जो हैं वो 2% सेल आउट किए, 2% बाय किए, तो वो क्या एटीएस में आएगा या बल्क में?
नहीं, बल्क बल्क बल्क। एटीएस आई डोंट थिंक इंडिया में है, मुझे दिख तो नहीं रहा है।
यस सर, मुझे भी।
इसीलिए दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट जो आपको ऐसा अनहर्ड लग रहा होगा, लेस हर्ड, करेक्ट? कूल। Shall we please proceed, everyone in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Securitizer relates to MBS, ABS, securitization, everything which you will learn in fixed income. That is the entire story we need to understand. In the market, intermediaries include depository institutes. Depository institute मतलब क्या हो गया? Banks जहाँ पे where you can keep the money in the form of deposits. आप FDs वगैरह बनाते हो ना, people savings रखते हो। They also provide other facilities like locker facilities, whatever facility, transaction facilities, right? All that come under depository institute.
Sir,
Sir,
what are credit unions?
credit unions. जैसे, do you know self industry wise, for example, in your local market, have you heard association of gold dealers, association of cloth market people? They make a union which give then credit to the members of their union. Particularly banks gives you credit irrespective, you trade, you don't trade, you belong to their union, it doesn't matter, you're a customer to them. Unlike this, our union, where merchants make a union so that they can provide credit to each other, which is obviously a lower rate and more lenient terms as compared to bank. Are you understanding, please?
Yes, sir. So it's only for the members who are part of that union.
Generally, because the objective is that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So they are also one of the intermediaries. Have you heard something called as factoring company, people? So with respect to bank or credit unions, let me tell you one more thing. They are intermediary. They take money from you in the form of FD, saving banks, etc. They give you some percentage of interest. The same money they used to give loan to people like us. Again, in your family only, some people have made the FD, some people have taken the loan. So are you people realizing bank is becoming an intermediary for you people within the family, everyone? You give deposit, the bank give the same amount in the form of house loan, car loan, home loan, whatever. They do it on the basis of your credit worthiness. If your CIBIL score, your credit worthiness, your ability to repay the debt quality is good, your credit score is good, right? The rate of interest they will charge is less. If your credit worthiness is not good, score is not good, quality is bad, they will charge you a higher interest rate. The more risk they take, basically when they lend money to you, they are taking risk. जब आप बैंक आपको पैसा दे रहा है तो बैंक रिस्क ले रहा है ना, तो जब रिस्क ज्यादा होगा तो ऑब्वियसली वो रिटर्न भी ज्यादा ही डिमांड करेंगे. ऑलराइट, देन योर फैक्टरिंग कंपनीज. आपको पता है फैक्टरिंग कंपनीज क्या होता है पीपल? सुना है कहीं पे व्हाट आर फैक्टरिंग कंपनीज पीपल?
Bill discounting.
I sell to you. You are a debtor. If I make a credit sale to you, people in the class, suppose मैंने आपको एक phone credit पे sell किया. You're my debtor, right? What will I do? I have an asset in my books in the form of debtor, according to which I can receive the amount from you. Suppose 30,000 rupees. I sell, people in the class, this debtor to a finance company called as factoring company. So factoring company against that 30,000 will give me 29,500 today only. They are discounting the amount and giving to me the amount today only. And tomorrow, factoring company will recover the amount from you, the entire 30,000. So from my perspective, I got immediate funding. I didn't get the headache of managing my receivables. When will I receive? How will I receive? I didn't have to bother about bad debts. If you don't pay, that is not my concern now. Considering everything, the factoring company will discount the debtors today only and give me a lower amount. Could I please explain to you the factoring business, everyone? समझ पाए क्या आप
Yes,
लोग?
sir.
Yes,
So let me tell you, level 1 में क्या होता है? You might find it as theory, but they don't want to teach theory. They want you all to know what all exists in the market. वो चाहते हैं आपको बस ये पता होना चाहिए फैक्टरिंग क्या होता है, ब्रोकर क्या होता है, प्राइमरी डीलर क्या होता है, सेकेंडरी मार्केट क्या होता है, मनी मार्केट क्या होता है, कैपिटल इंस्ट्रूमेंट. They want you to know everything is the simple point. So if you realize they give you all the basics clubbed at one level, which is CFA level 1 with respect to every subject. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Pay lenders are those people who lend money specifically to pay the wages, to pay the salaries. So there are companies who pay salaries and wages, which is a part of working capital. If they need money for that purpose short term, they approach payday lenders. Insurance companies, we know, are also the intermediary. You give money to them in the form of premium. They will compensate you for any kind of loss, right? The possibility of loss can be this or this or this, a bit theory. You will have to, people in the class, cover it at your own. Arbitrageurs that we read now. So, people, do you know Arbitragers word relates to arbitrage. Those who do arbitrage are called as arbitragers. Arbitrage is gaining advantage on account of mispricing. For example, have you people heard, not now maybe, but आपको पता है पहले दुबई में आईफोन बहुत सस्ता मिलता था. इनफैक्ट अभी भी to an extent, people, any electronic device, a lot of countries have cheaper than India.
Yes, sir.
Because India has, everyone, taxes. है ना? Just a second. Yes. तो हम लोग क्या बात कर रहे थे? Regarding arbitrage. So for example, you identify an opportunity where you realize that India mein, there's this phone which is being sold for 1 lakh rupees. The same phone in out there in US or Dubai or anywhere is 85,000. Which means for the same asset, two different markets have two different prices. One market has a lower price, another market has a higher price. So what do? You buy the asset from a lower priced market and sell it in a higher priced market. And the difference that you earn on account of the mispricing, that is called as arbitrage. People have समझे मैंने क्या बोला? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And the person who does this is arbitrager. तो arbitrager एक best चीज कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है liquidity create कर रहा है. Do you agree he is unnecessarily to earn obviously to that advantage, even if he doesn't want to hold the asset, but he is becoming a part of the market, he's becoming a buyer and he's becoming a seller, which means do you realize he's adding a transaction, he's providing liquidity to the market, everyone? Are you understanding how is he providing liquidity in the
Yes,
market?
sir.
क्योंकि otherwise तो उसको खरीदना नहीं है ना, right? And he makes the market informationally efficient. What does it mean? For example, Dubai market is 85. Indian market is 100,000. Dubai market is 85,000. He buy from here, he sell here. He buy from here, he sell here. Which means, do you realize when he buy, he creates a demand, and when he sell, he creates a supply. आप बता सकते हो जब किसी भी चीज का डिमांड बढ़ेगा तो what will be impact on the price? If the demand increases, what is the impact on the price?
The price will
Price
rise.
increases.
And if the supply increases, what happens to the price?
Price falls.
Price
Which
falls.
means, do you realize automatically he will create an equilibrium in the market? This price will become, for example, 90, this price will become 95, then this price become 92, then become 93, then maybe it become 92.5 and then become 93.5, 92.5 again. And that is how the arbitrage will stop. So long as there is an opportunity, arbitrage will keep on doing it. And when the prices are aligned, there will not be any mispricing and there will not be any arbitrage. So mispricing can be eliminated through arbitrage is what I'm trying to tell you. Am I making sense, people in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
He's making the market efficient. Okay. The arbitrage profit is riskless profit. When you invest in the share of TCS with an objective to earn profit, do you agree you may earn profit, you may not earn profit? There is a risk, everyone. For an arbitrage, there is no risk. He know that surely the price in the Dubai is less and surely the price in the India is more. He is not taking any risk to earn that difference. The profit he makes is riskless profit. Cool, everyone, people?
Sir, this also happens in the Indian market, na? Stock market.
Stock market में भी होता है, opportunities बहुत कम है, although.
हाँ
Because
सर,
क्या हो
अगर
रहा है?
मतलब बिड आस्क कॉलम पे अगर प्राइस डिफरेंस है, इम्पैक्ट कॉस्ट उसको मतलब बोलते हैं. हाँ, तो उसको डिफरेंस कैप्चर करते हैं.
Correct. Right. Arbitrage can be by way of price dominance, जैसा कि आपने पढ़ा है, or it can be value additive. कैसे? For example, जैसे Example of ETF I can give you, but that will make the thing complicated. Can I give you theoretical example?
Yes, sir.
Not practical. Suppose you go to market and you see that there is a fruit basket in the market, which has 3 apples, 3 bananas. 3 apples and 3 bananas, right? Which is the basket, entire basket is costing rupees 100. When you go to individually buy the apples and bananas, people, one apple is 30 rupees and one banana is 25 rupees. So how much? So sorry, this is 20, this is 25. Although it should work other way around actually. It should actually be 50. How much does it cost, people? 3 apple, 3 banana, if I buy individually, how much does it cost, people? 60 plus 45, 105, correct, everyone? Which means, do you agree that value as a whole is less than sum of individual values, people? So can you exploit this opportunity to earn profit? Yes, you can buy the entire basket and you can sell individual fruits like this and make a profit of ₹5, which is mispricing. You are doing arbitrage. Could I explain this, everyone? Value additive, everyone? Sum of the parts is greater than the whole, is what I want to say. Okay. Then you have clearing houses and custodians. So basically, when you trade, when you say buy on the stock exchange, right? There has to be someone at the back end who will make sure that, I press buy on the stock exchange, you press sell on the stock exchange. कोई तो होना चाहिए ना, who will remove the security from your demat, who will credit the security to my demat. People, that is what a clearing house does, right? Custodian has custody, has a possession of the security. जैसे डिपॉजिटरी होता है ना, एक बात बताओ, आप जब टीसीएस का शेयर खरीदते हो, आर यू होल्डिंग द शेयर ऑफ टीसीएस प्रैक्टिकली, पीपल? डू यू हैव दैट फिजिकल शेयर विथ यू, द शेयर ऑफ टीसीएस?
No, sir.
No. Broker.
You just have its entry, or you just have that number in your demat. There has to be someone holding it on your behalf. That is
Yes, sir.
people in the class custodian. All right. So see, they ensure market's integrity by holding client security. मतलब क्या होगा कि आपने टीसीएस का शेयर बेचा और आपने डिलीवर करने से ना बोल दिया. You might say that I don't want to deliver after a day. But if your shares are held by custodian, if you say sell, the share is sold and you don't have to deliver, your custodian will automatically deliver it to someone. Are you understanding, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Related to clearing house, there are certain things जो आप खुद से पढ़ेंगे.
क्लियरिंग हाउस वो चेक्स के लिए होता है ना?
वो बैंक्स के रेस्पेक्ट में. We are
Okay.
understanding from capital market perspective. ठीक है?
सर कस्टोडियन का काम तो कुछ ब्रोकर जैसा ही लगता है ना.
वो आपकी सिक्योरिटी होल्ड कर रहे हैं.
अच्छा.
उनको और कोई मतलब नहीं है. When you say you want to sell it, they will sell. I mean, they will deliver the security on your behalf.
Okay.
They don't enter into transaction on your behalf. They don't do anything. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. We need to understand positions. Then we need to understand leverage. Good. People, we will have to end the session today 15 minutes early. Is that fine, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's cool. So just
Fine.
just give me a minute now. Everyone, let's now understand the positions. People in the class.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do I mean by position?
Buy or sell.
आपको पता है क्या होता है positions? Everyone.
Time period for holding a particular stock.
Okay. For example, I have cash. I have cash right now. I have bank balance. If I go to stock exchange for the share of IRCTC, if I press buy, what will happen? I will get the share and money will get deducted from my bank account. Correct, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Which position have I taken in our discussion?
Long.
Long position, which means when you have the share, when you're holding it, when you've bought it and you're holding it. Cool. And after having the share, after having the long position, whenever I want to cancel my position, nullify my position, close my position, square off my position, what do? I simply sell it.
Sell.
Can I say it is the most basic thing which all of us have been seeing? मतलब ये तो बचपन से यही तो कर रहे हैं हम लोग, isn't it, people?
Yes.
Yes. Just एक second. So that is a simple scenario that we call as long position. Now imagine short. Sir, in the long position, first I bought and then I sold. Correct? That is what we are calling as long position. In case of short position, everyone in the class, I don't have any asset with me. Despite that, if I sell, which means I don't have it. You look at this. On the share of Maruti, when I press on sell, I don't have any share of Maruti. But when I do this, when I press sell, I will end up taking a short position. First question, sir, if you don't have it, how would you sell it? Second question, how do you decide what position to take? Situation is simple, thing is simple. People, let us try to understand this. Let me check if I have. One second. For that, I will have to take you to my CA notes. I have to take you to derivatives. A lot of things are actually common. Here it is. I copy this thing. Just give me a second, let me figure out. Shall we start the discussion, everyone? Do you like this creation? Do you like these notes, people?
Yes, sir.
When I made these notes, it was literally a full, I had this experience as if I am typing down or I am creating my own book. Because let me tell you, इस book का literally every word, every concept, every design, every presentation, वो मैंने personally बैठ कर एक एक चीज डिजाइन की है. तब मुझे लगा how difficult it is to literally write down your own book. और वहीं से मतलब इनफैक्ट this decision of how should the presentation be and how should we do it so that students should are able to. So basically आपके जो handmade notes हैं ना ये वाले, ये पूरा manual है, पूरा handwritten है, और ये वाला combination है CA notes. Students के पास ऐसा blank जाता है only with these drawings, और बचा हुआ फिर क्लास में लिखते हैं. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो हैंड रिटन पार्ट है वो स्टूडेंट भी हाथ से लिखता है, ऑल्सो राइट इट डाउन, सो इट गोज टू देयर मेमोरी. एनीवेज, तो अभी आपको समझना पड़ेगा अबाउट द बुलिश एंड बेरिश थिंग. आपको पता है बुलिश व्यू बेरिश व्यू क्या होता है? एवरीवन इन द क्लास.
Bullish मतलब growing market and bearish मतलब dropping market.
Which means if you think that if the market is expected to rise, the view you have is bullish, and if the market is expected to fall, the view you have is bearish. If there is a bullish view, जैसे अगर आपको कोई बोलता है कि यार शेयर का प्राइस बढ़ने वाला है, आप क्या करेंगे उस शेयर को? People buy. मतलब what position you take? Long. Because right now, for example, price is 100 and you are expecting that price will become 150 after 2 months, for example. So you will buy the share today. So position is long. Transaction is you buy today and you sell today. Suppose another situation, share price is 150 and someone tells you share price is expected to become 100 after 2 months. How will you make profit out of the situation?
By selling it immediately.
So you sell it today, because when you sell something, you receive money. You sell it at a higher price and you buy it back to square off, to nullify your position, to close your position, right? And that position, everyone in the class, that you take today is called as short. Is this clear to all the students in the class?
Yes, sir.
Sir, if you're buying back, then what was the point of selling?
Sorry.
If you're buying it back, what was the point of selling?
All right. When you sold it, it is at 150. When you buy it back, it is at 100. So you imagine this, you sell it 150 and you buy back the same thing at 100. Don't you feel like earning 50 rupee of profit?
Yeah.
Nishta?
Yeah, got it.
समझे आप? So that is what the positions you take when you have a bullish view, when you have a bearish view. The more important question is, if you want to buy, there is no problem. You buy, I want to buy this bottle, I buy it and pay cash. What if I want to sell the bottle? I don't have the bottle. How do I sell it to you? Because whosoever I sell it, do you agree the other person will ask for a bottle? Yes or no? People. Do you understand the question? I'm not expecting an answer. Do you understand my question? Everyone, please.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And related to which you need to understand this concept called as security lending borrowing scheme. Security lending borrowing scheme through which the short position is possible. Sir, this orange person out here is a short seller. This orange person believes that the share prices are going to fall. So he wants to sell the share today, because what he will receive today is 150. And after 2 months or after 3 months, when he will buy the share back to close the position, the share price might fall and he might have to pay only 100 and rupee 50 become his profit. Is his plan clear to all the students? The short seller's plan, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The question is, how do he sell his share? The answer to this is borrowing it. So suppose there is this long-term investor in the market. Suppose I am that long-term investor and you are short seller. I am holding the share of TCS and I plan to hold it for the next 5 years. Which means, do you agree that even if the share price fall in the next 2-3 months, I'm not concerned about it, people?
Yes.
So you come to me saying that you want to borrow my share. You're not borrowing rupees, you're borrowing a particular share. I will lend that share to you. And the same share you will sell at a higher price. You borrow share from me and you sell it at a higher price. After 2 months, whenever you think the price has fallen, You will buy the share back and you will repay to me the share back. You borrowed the share, you will repay to me the share. Which means, do you realize as a long-term investor, the share was anyways lying idle with me, people? मेरे पास तो वैसे भी रखा
Yes.
ही था, waste ही हो रहा था.
Hmm.
When I lend it to someone will return it back to me. और वैसे भी जो price fluctuate हुआ उससे मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता because I was anyways holding it. Correct? But by lending the share in the market, people, I will be able to earn some income called as lending charges. जब आप किसी को लोन देते हो तो इंटरेस्ट कमाते हो ना, people. Similarly, you are lending the share out here. You are lending the share to someone. What you will earn on that from the short seller is the lending charges, which is an additional income to you as a long-term investor. People, could I please explain to you as a short seller, how do you execute the short position? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Requesting your responses. People in the class, please.
यस सर लॉन्ग
Yes, sir.
पोजीशन को सर लॉन्ग पोजीशन को सर अपने पास रख सकते हैं साल 2 साल के लिए, बट शॉर्ट पोजीशन सर इंट्राडे में ही रह पाता.
वो अलग शॉर्ट है. आप दो शॉर्ट्स में कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो. ट्रेडर जो शॉर्ट समझते ना, वो कैसा है यार, सिटी से में मैंने जाके सेल किया. जब मैं डायरेक्टली
Yes.
ऐसे सेल करूंगा, ऑब्वियसली अभी नहीं होगा, बट इफ आई सेल इट, दैट इज अ शॉर्ट पोजीशन व्हिच डजंट रिलेट टू दिस. वो शॉर्ट कैसा है जहां पे एक्सचेंज गिव यू दिस फैसिलिटी वेयर यू कैन सेल इवन विदाउट बोरोइंग फॉर अ सिंगल डे. By the end of that day, position will close. That is not the short I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you the short जहां पे long term के लिए you can remain short. Are you
Sir,
understanding?
but it can be in the futures only, na?
No, in the spot market. I'm talking about the share TCS, not the future or forward of TCS. If you want to take a short position of future forward, you don't need to borrow. You can simply short immediately without borrowing it, no problem.
So, sir, you are telling that we can short the stock, the cash stock in the cash market, not the
Correct.
futures,
Yes,
for a long term.
correct.
But sir, फिर अभी now that in the short seller जो है, who is borrowing the share and then repaying back to the long investor, does the long investor get any benefit out of it, or like only the short seller is the one who is getting the benefit due to selling it at a
Price change.
higher?
For the price change, long-term investor does not get any benefit. He gave share, he got share. What is the price of share doesn't matter to him because he was anyways a long-term investor, correct?
हाँ.
Even if he doesn't borrow, do you agree share continue to remain with the long-term investor?
Hmm.
What the only benefit he gets is lending charges.
हाँ, lending charges, हाँ बराबर.
इसको जो मिलता है प्राइस डिफरेंस, और ये तो नॉर्मल बायर है, इसको तो कुछ पता भी नहीं है व्हाट इज द बैकग्राउंड स्टोरी. The green person thinks that okay, I'm buying the share from him, I'm selling to him. Simple.
समझो.
Could I make this concept entirely clear to all the students in the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct. For which the theory, the text.
Sir,
Hmm.
but the short position, long-term short position is not allowed in Indian market according to SEBI.
सर एक बार
Yes,
फिर से
sir.
समझा देते ना.
Yes, sir.
ऐसा तो I don't think कुछ है.
Yes, it is allowed in US markets, but it is not allowed in Indian markets.
Sir,
Sure,
the
okay.
short position in the cash market is only allowed for the intraday,
Intraday,
not
yes,
for the
exactly.
long term.
एक बार देखें,
यस
एक बार
सर.
थोड़ा रिसर्च करोगे आप, क्योंकि सिक्योरिटी लेंडिंग बोरोइंग स्कीम होता तो है इंडिया में. Will you do please some level of research?
Sir, I don't think so. It is allowed in India markets.
यस सर.
So we can carry the futures for the period of month,
Expiry
but not
till the
carry the
expiry.
cash equity items.
यस
So it is only
सर मैंने
allowed in the
शॉर्ट किया.
futures of a stock.
Yeah, futures and options can be carried for the
वो
till
तो
the
अलग ही
expiry.
चीज हो गई. फ्यूचर्स ऑप्शंस तो
शायद
चीज
से इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए होता होगा.
सर
चलो एक बार
इक्विटी को
रिसर्च
लेकर
करके
के,
देख.
सर इक्विटी को लेकर के मार्केट में शॉर्ट पोजीशन अगर बना रहे हैं तो वो सर इंट्राडे में ही वैलिड रहता है, जहाँ तक सर मुझे पता है. maybe
देखते हैं.
in
We will
yes,
figure it out. One more
yes.
thing I also want to tell you. Suppose a speech, the company TCS distributes dividend after this person has borrowed the share and short. Suppose the company TCS distributes the dividend. Can you tell me whom will the dividend go?
Investors,
Company
sir.
dividend किसको देगा? Blue, orange, green. Tell me.
Blue.
To blue.
Green. क्योंकि कंपनी के रिकॉर्ड्स में who's the owner of the share now? Green. People in the class. But ये तो फिर blue वाले का loss हो गया, isn't it, people? As per the records of the company, who's the owner of the share now? The green is the owner, the normal buyer is the owner, the company will pay the dividends to him. In which case it is a loss to the blue person because blue lent the share, but income related to the share the blue deserves to receive, which is why the rule is that suppose you have short a share and during that tenure, if the company distributes the dividend to the green, the same amount of dividend, the orange person, the short seller will have to pay from his pocket to the blue person, the long-term lender, the long-term investor and lender. People in the class, are you understanding what about the dividend I wanted to say, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Matlab from,
loss for the borrower.
sorry,
Will that amount be loss for the borrower?
you cannot say it is a loss because let me justify. Do you know जैसी market में dividend distribute होता है, share price कम हो जाता है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Just as the company announces the dividend, share prices fall. Suppose share price is 100, right? Sorry. Suppose share price is 100. Company announces 5 rupee of dividend. Do you agree theoretically the price would fall around 5 rupee? It become 95.
Yes, sir.
How much is the amount of gain made by short seller? Rupee 5. That is on account of dividend. That is non account of his predictability, his estimate. The same 5 rupee basically he has to pay to the long-term investor. So the on account of dividend, whatever he pays from his pocket, the same amount gets compensated by the decrease in price. Other than dividend, if there is any increase, decrease, the short seller gains or loses. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Am I able to answer your questions, please, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, does the same thing happens in ETFs as well for dividends?
ETF में मुझे नहीं पता. ETF में short selling होता है? I don't think
No,
so.
not about the short selling. I'm saying that a company would have bought a basket of shares for the pooled investment vehicle. So I'm saying that if they got the dividend, so that dividend amount will go to that particular ETF or the investors of the pooled investment vehicle.
ETF holds the amount. थोड़ा रिसर्च करना पड़ेगा. In my opinion, ETF को ही जाता है dividend. But what happens further to that dividend, that I don't know, frankly.
So I think that dividend is reinvested in the share.
Possibly. Most probably. What you're saying is correct. It gets reinvested in the same proportion.
As a stock dividend.
Correct.
Instead of cash.
Correct. So people, related to long position, related to short position, we have learned everything out here. Okay. इसमें थोड़ा सा discussion almost done है. ठीक है. Short rebate rate, as we meet in the next class, is the topic related to it we will cover. Is that fine, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So, what else? Any doubt or we call it a day?
Sir,
Yeah.
एक doubt है, not related to the syllabus, but planning के related. मतलब अभी जो FA से आपने पढ़ाया है, बराबर उसको मैं 4-5 अगर समझो एक टॉपिक को मैं टॉपिक करने के बाद 4-5 सम करता हूँ और उसके बाद आगे बढ़ता हूँ, तो उसके बाद प्रैक्टिस कभी करूँ?
4-5 सम करते हो अभी?
यस.
तो अप्रोच ही रखो कि एक बार पूरा कंटेंट पढ़ लो. कहाँ से पढ़ रहे हो कंटेंट? जेल से या श्वेजर से?
Zell से मैं content पढ़ रहा हूँ and then I solve from Shwezar and CFA.
तो आप एक काम करो, अभी जेल से कंटेंट पढ़ लो, हैंडबैग नोट जेल, और अभी ही किसी एक बुक से, इधर श्वेजर या फिर सीएफए मटेरियल, अभी किसी एक बुक से क्वेश्चन भी सॉल्व कर लो, क्योंकि आई डोंट थिंक यू विल हैव सो मच ऑफ टाइम दैट यू सॉल्व द क्वेश्चंस राइट नाउ फॉर बोथ द मटेरियल, बिकॉज एवरी संडे सैटरडे संडे यू हैव क्लासेस, तो बैकलॉग क्रिएट हो जाएगा. सो अभी यू चूज अ बुक एंड सॉल्व क्वेश्चन ऑफ दैट बुक. आफ्टर द क्लासेस आर ओवर, आपका I mean along with the classes you will be done, you should be done with one revision of the entire content at home and question from one particular book. फिर बाद में क्या करेंगे, एक सब्जेक्ट पिक करेंगे, उसको पूरा रिवाइज करेंगे, और फिर पूरे सब्जेक्ट के क्वेश्चन दोनों सोर्सेस से, इंस्टीट्यूट श्वेजर if you are referring Shwezar, or if you are not referring institute portal and institute official material.
Okay.
You cover at the time of revision questions from both of these places and ultimately appear for mocks and last revision and exam.
तो अभी मुझे concept समझ के पूरा practice करके move on करना है to the next chapter और next subject.
हाँ, अभी रिटेंशन मत रखो, अभी सिर्फ अंडरस्टैंडिंग रखो. आपका फोकस होना चाहिए मुझे समझ में आ गया, मुझे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो रहे हैं. जब भी आप नेक्स्ट रिवीजन करोगे तब रिटेन करने की कोशिश करेंगे.
Okay, okay, got it, sir.
Cool. Great, everyone. So people in the class, thank you so much for being here.
So
Yeah.
right now I have only Zell notes. So should I buy Squazure also, because I'll register for CFA around Jan or Feb?
कंपल्सरी
Progress
नहीं है,
study.
अगर आपका कंफर्ट है श्वेजर में तो यू कैन कंटिन्यू, बट हाँ आपको अभी क्वेश्चन तो सॉल्व करने पड़ेंगे, तो या तो सॉफ्ट कॉपी में से कर लो.
Soft copy, so where can I get?
किसी के पास तो होगा, कोई शेयर कर दो. आप लोगों का पर्सनल ग्रुप बना है नहीं बना?
नहीं sir.
Yes sir, बना हुआ.
Yes, we have.
बना है.
मुस्कान
ग्रुप
आप
है.
Only admins can share message.
नहीं, वो ग्रुप नहीं, मैं एक पर्सनल
नहीं,
ग्रुप
वो
और
तो
आपको बताया
जेल
नहीं.
का है.
Okay. Okay, then I have to get added. Okay.
तो
Share the
पीपल
in chat.
कोई
So
लिंक शेयर कर सकता है तो कर दो, सो दैट एवरीवन. और अगर वहां पे किसी आपके
Someone
पास,
can share the
एक
link
मिनट
in the group actually.
मैं ट्राई करता हूँ, रुको
बॉबी
एक
भाई,
सेकंड.
बॉबी
Okay,
भाई.
okay.
और उसके
Okay,
बाद
thanks sir.
जो भी पीडीएफ से आपस में आप शेयर कर लो, ठीक है.
Okay sir.
मैं इक्विटी का पीडीएफ आपको शेयर कर देता हूँ.
Okay, okay sir. Thank you.
आपको मतलब एवरीवन इन द क्लास.
Yes.
ठीक है, चलो. Done people, please.
Yes
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Shall we now call it a day?
And
Yes,
sir,
sir.
sorry, just one more thing. And for theory, we should refer Zell notes, and for question answers, we should refer Squazure and CFA Institute, right?
For theory, I mean to say for content,
Yeah, for content, Zell notes
either
will
Zell or
be
Shwezar,
fine.
depending on
Okay.
your comfort.
Okay.
For question solving, surely official CFA materials, both the sources.
Okay.
Okay, I mean official material and website. Along
Yes.
with that, if you want to do Shwezar, you may do.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Cool. So bye people in the class. Quickly share the link, because I'll have to wait till you people share the link, else the meeting will end. I will in the meantime share the notes with you. लिंक आपको दिख नहीं रहा है क्योंकि लिंक अभी तक आया भी नहीं है.
Sir, while solving the questions, मेरी थोड़ी speed slow है फिलहाल. तो speed कैसे increase होगी?
Bit time practice से.
Okay. Yes, sir.
What are you guys doing? Should we end the meeting? कोई लिंक शेयर कर रहा है? If no, क्योंकि मैं तो
Is
हूँ नहीं.
someone sharing the link?
मेरे को तो एक्सेस ही नहीं दे रहा है लिंक भेजने का, तो कोई और भेज सकता जो कर.
Actually मैंने टैब में किया है actually. Just let me try. But
उसमें नंबर शेयर करने को बोल दो ना, उसको इंडिविजुअली ऐड कर देंगे.
हाँ चलेगा. हाँ, एक काम करो, मैं नंबर शेयर कर देता हूँ इस पे.
So who's the admin? आप नंबर शेयर करो.
Yeah, myself. I'm just showing the number.
So people in the class, kindly take a picture of this one or make a note of it. And then you guys coordinate among themselves. Among yourself, I mean.
Yeah, I just shared the number.
Cool. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So bye, people. Bye,
Bye,
bye, bye.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone, take care. Happy Sunday. Bye, bye.
Happy Sunday, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Bye.
Happy Sunday, sir. Bye bye.